Welcome to the Krueg Show, everybody. Larry Krueger after 49er football. And, of course, Giants game still right now. Welcome to the Krueg Show, Saturday edition of the show. 49ers win. Giants are playing the Rockies right now in Denver. We're following that on the computer as well and the TV. Rockies lead 3-2 over the Giants in the early going there. So we give the band just the rest of the night off. But the Giants, interesting game on the Giant front. Crawford has gone deep to tie the game. Bart went deep in the 6th. Crawford went deep in the 7th. Rockies jumped on the board early. Rogers with a double, Brandon Rogers, that scored Iglesias, and that made it 1-0 in the 3rd. And then McMahon singled in Rogers to make it 2-0 against Alex Cobb, who went 6 2/3, scattered 10 hits, only gave up the 3 earned runs, and yet the Giants aren't really hitting. Surprise, 3-2. Rockies lead, bottom 7 in Denver at Coors Field. But, of course, we're coming to you after 49er football. 17-7 49ers knock off the Minnesota Vikings in preseason game number 2. And, we'll hit the chat. I think Ryan's going to join us. I believe Dan might join us as well. We'll talk a little 49er football with them if they do. But I'll tell you, just a number of interesting things. My biggest takeaway tonight was just the incredible play of the Niner quarterbacks. I think you got to feel really good about the 49er quarterbacks after preseason game number 2. Sudfeld, 13 of 17. In there was a drop, so he was more like 14 to 17. That's almost 80%. That's really, really good. And then Brock Purdy was 14 to 23 on the night. But if you look closely at Purdy's night, he was tremendous. I mean, I would say Purdy had 3 drops, maybe 4. And they were all right there. I mean, this guy was deadly accurate all night. So 78% or whatever it was for Sudfeld. And for Purdy, 74% if you give him those 3 drops. So that's 2 quarterbacks that, are battling for the backup spot. And, Purdy, 14 of 23. If you mix in those 3 drops or eliminate the 3 drops, 17 of 23 in your first NFL start for probably about 160 yards. His final numbers were 14 of 23, 128 yards, had the 1 fumble. Even the fumble wasn't his fault. It was an offsides call at the goal line where the guy clearly made contact with Sutherland's helmet, which caused a whole disruption of the play. And then Purdy wound up fumbling the snap, but that wasn't even on him at all. I mean, that's first of all turnovers in the NFL are reviewable. I guess they just didn't care about that one for whatever reason. They viewed it a judgment call. I don't know why that wasn't reviewed and why that wasn't reversed. If it was a regular season game, that would have been reversed. Instead, Purdy winds up, as I said, 14 to 23, 128 yards, sacked twice. If you take out the drops, he's at 74%. You take out the 1 drop for Sudfeld, he's at close to 80%. So that is really, really good. Then we saw Purdy operate the 2-minute drill, and he did it with almost to perfection. And you forget this guy played 4 years at Iowa State. He had tremendous numbers. He had a great success in high school. Then you did they showed the close-ups on his face. He was I felt like I was watching Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he was totally poised, totally calm, totally in the moment, in total command. I mean, that was super impressive. We're going to talk about a lot of guys tonight, but Nate Sudfeld was terrific, I thought, as well. He made a number of nice plays. But to me, Sudfeld's been in this offense for a while, over a year. He's had a full off season. Brock Purdy is an NFL rookie, and he looked totally poised. He showed pocket awareness. He showed accuracy. He showed moxie. He showed toughness. He showed smarts, mobility. Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was terrific. Am I overstating that? I mean, I thought he was unbelievable. We'll get into the chat here in just a few minutes, but just a couple thoughts. I mean, Purdy wowed me. Now, I said to everybody, this guy looks good. And I told you he looked good in minicamp. I actually sent a text, or I tweeted out that, I was a big Purdy fan, and Brock Purdy's sister sent me a message on, or liked it, I think it was, and said, liked my Purdy comment. So, I mean, there's a Purdy fan club. This guy was really good at Iowa State. This guy was really, really good. Won a lot of games, And then, you think of him and you say, well, you people are comparing him to Nick Mullins. This guy ain't Nick Mullins. I mean, it's one preseason game, but that's what you saw today is what we've been seeing in minicamp and in training camp. He plays under control. The game is slow to him. He's got mental toughness, physical toughness, plays the game kind of like a linebacker with that mentality. I mean, he took that terrible hit from Surratt, but man, that showed toughness. I don't know if it showed intelligence there, but it showed toughness. Unbelievable. Brock Purdy. He ain't Nick Mullins. I'll tell you that right now. He played with total command. And I think everybody who watched that, I think if you're a 49er fan, wouldn't you feel comfortable with Brock Purdy coming off the bench? Now, Sudfeld looked good too, don't get me wrong. But Brock Purdy was in his first real significant, go-around in the NFL, was close to 80%, and he operated the 2-minute drill with command, moved around, showed enough mobility, enough arm strength. He looked good. He looked really good. So that was the overwhelming takeaway. Brock freaking Purdy. Wow. Way to go, Lynch. Way to go, Niners scouting staff. That was impressive. All right, that's number one. Then let's just go down the list here. Jordan Mason is a big boy who runs with a lot of power, almost 6.5 yards a pop, 9 carries, 57 yards. He looked good. Now, he runs a little upright. He's going to take some hits. But wow, you're going to cut Jordan Mason from this team? That's going to be a tough cut. Ty Davis Price had a phenomenal run in this game where he had a couple runs that were really, really good. Ty Davis Price, over 4 yards a carry, had a 14-yard run, wound up 10 carries for 41 yards. The one downside was Sermon just doesn't look comfortable. He's a rhythm runner, but he's never been given enough carries to really get in a rhythm. So I don't know what to say about Trey. Tanner Hudson looked really good. 5 catches for 43 yards on 6 targets, and he did a nice job as a blocker. Malik Turner made some nice plays, including an incredible play where he punched out a fumble. We saw Danny Gray come through with a couple more catches. Juwan Jennings had a couple catches. My guy, big play Tay Martin, made a couple catches. He was heard from for the first time. And then on defense, Oren Burks, 8 tackles. He's a special teamer, but man, he played from scrimmage tonight. He looked good. Diamador Lenore has gotten better. Quantrez Knight and, Taylor Hawkins had a pick. Quantrez Knight had a couple nice plays. Marcelino McCrary Ball. Saguna Luby was heard from. But how about Javon Kinlaw? Whoo-wee! Javon Kinlaw was unfreaking believable. If Javon Kinlaw plays all year the way Javon Kinlaw looked in this game, wow, watch out. Because they double-teamed him. There we go. There's Rye Smith and Dan Coccimilgio. They double-teamed him a ton. The one time they don't double-team him, he comes around in a stunt and sacks the quarterback, and that's the fastest I've ever seen Javon Kinlaw look. He looked fast and explosive. Wow. That's all I got to say about that. Just a wow. So, guys, I started off just going on and on and on about some of the guys who impressed me. But right at the top of the list was Brock Purdy.
Oh yeah, he looked good.
Brock Purdy just played with total command.
A lot of poise for a rookie.
Poise, toughness, smarts, pocket awareness, but most of all, he sees it. His eyes, like when they go to the close-up camera, you look like you're looking at Aaron Rodgers. Watching Niner quarterbacks in the last decade, everybody looks like they're, frantic at the line. Kaepernick used to be like, he's looking around wildly at times. Same with Mullins. Even same with Jimmy from time to time, where he'd lose track of the snap count or he'd lose track of the play clock. Purdy just looked like in total command, and he threw strike after strike after strike, and he had about 3 or 4 drops. And guys, if you take out those drops, we're talking about 75% completion percentage and close to 160 yards. He looked really, really good, like an NFL quarterback. That's Mr. Irrelevant. That was the last pick in the NFL draft. If Brock Purdy becomes a good NFL quarterback on any level, there's going to be teams everywhere going, what? I mean, that's Tom Brady went a round and a half before Brock Purdy went. I mean, that's a steal. That is a steal. What do you guys think?
So, I don't know. I like Purdy. I like him a lot. He as a backup, but I didn't see.
You're not seeing it.
I'm not seeing like NFL starter, but it's preseason and.
Forget starter or backup. I know his profile's a little smaller. His arm strength is not quite there. But this guy in a year from now is going to get stronger, more athletic, a little bit more, he's all wed to the process. This is one of these guys that's a lifer football guy. He's going to get a little bit stronger. He's going to get a little bit quicker. And already he made a couple plays where he's got like the defender one-on-one on the ball fake on the bootleg. And he's sitting there and he knows he's got the defender and the defender's like six feet away. How many times have you seen the quarterback panic, try to run, get sacked, or, somehow throw the ball and the one guy in front of him and the receiver tips it? This guy played with nice little pace, kind of pumped it, waited for the guy to get out of place, and then just threw it. He just makes it look really easy. And then all I'm saying is you got to factor this in. There's most NFL quarterbacks are a circus as rookies, and everything's moving a million miles an hour, and they don't know what direction to go, and they're doing all kinds of stuff.
Look at Kellen Mond.
This guy played with total command. I'm impressed. I am impressed. I know they're bigger guys with bigger arms and more mobility and better athletes, and believe me, I understand. I've seen them all. But to see what we saw tonight was...
He looks like a natural. Yeah, he does.
Looks like a natural. He's a quarterback who knows how to play the position.
Right. He doesn't get frazzled, Even when the rush was on him, he took the sack. He got a couple yards and just moved up and took the quick sack. Didn't try and throw it away, make a dumb play. He just saw a little opening and dove down into the hole, and what was it? Maybe a 1-yard loss or something like that late in the game there. That one, I like that move. That was very impressive. I was really impressed too with TD Price. One of those runs was really nice where he cut out onto the edge and
then ran over a couple guys.
Yeah, that looked good.
He looked as advertised.
Yeah.
And Mason had a big run. I
thought Jordan Mason looked good at the end.
I've been saying it.
Sermon not getting very many yards on their rushes.
I've been saying it. Like I don't know because I like Ty Davis Price. I love the idea of him. But I said at practice, there's something about Jordan Mason. I can't really quite put it place
He's like a bulldog.
He's got, not only does he have incredible
kind of a yellow
strength,
jacket, he looks like a bulldog.
He is the most balanced. He has that elite level balance that you don't see. You see on a Kamara or an Aaron Jones. But obviously he's not to that level. But it's like God, that guy does not go down. He has so much balance and so much power, and he's just immediately right upfield. It's just, I just have no idea how he wasn't like more of a star at college.
Yeah,
he was good in the ACC at Georgia Tech. I mean, he was good. It just, it's amazing how many running backs there are and how good running backs, NFL caliber backs, sometimes with size and speed, work their way all the way through the draft. I mean, just 7 rounds of the draft. There wasn't anybody that wanted Jordan Mason. He's 6'1". He's 230 pounds. He runs with a lot of conviction. Wow. I mean, that he was fun to watch too. So there were a couple things that really stood out to me. Purdy, number 1 for sure. But then I would say Javon Kinlaw in the first half. Javon Kinlaw, the combination. It's like when we talked about this team, right? We were talking about driving down to camp. And Danny, I'm sure I brought this up in some of our live streams as well. We're talking about, wow, man, the Niners have a pretty good D-line when they got Armstead and they got Bosa. Now you can add Armstead and Bosa. Now you got Drake Jackson, who really looks incredibly flexible at 260 pounds, made a number of really good plays tonight. And his ability to change in directions and contort and beat guys with speed and power and the whole deal. He's really fun. And then you've got Kinlaw in year 3.
I like Kinlaw. I said in the beginning of
it's scary
before spring training or the season here, practice. I said I think if Kinlaw is healthy, look out, because I said he's not a big sack guy, but he's going to push guys back and create sacks for other guys. But tonight, man, he just blew over the guy and just straight cannonballed right into the QB. I mean,
it's impressive. It's like when you factor in that Armstead gives you rush, Bosa's the best in the biz, Drake Jackson looks like he's going to be able to contribute, and they've got crazy depth, so they can keep running these guys in just like shifts. Kinlaw is going to fall into 5 or 6 sacks this year.
Well, yeah, and the thing is if those knees are truly healthy for the first time as an NFLer, look out, because if you look at some of his college film as a junior, when he was just like a beast. He was like a man playing with children out there.
There was a couple plays in the practices this week that were like, what? I mean, who's blocking this guy? Some guy at St. Ignatius High School? I mean, he the guard set up, he pushes him back and just rolls right over him. That guard was probably 300 pounds.
Have you seen this guy's build without
throwing him away like tissue?
Did you see the picture of him walking after practice the other day?
He one of the pack. I mean, that guy's 300 plus pounds.
I know, and he's lean. He can move. He can move. So he's amazing. If he just does his job and plays his gaps right and stuffs the middle and penetrates on passing downs and pushes that guy back into the center, collapses the pocket, Bosa and Ebicom and Jackson are going to get a ton of sacks.
Look who didn't play. I mean, that's the other part of this. There was no Bosa. Right. By the way, the Niners have 3 near Pro Bowl linebackers. None of them played a snap. Right. I can only imagine what the practices looked like, because the Niners' number 1 defense pretty much didn't do anything. I mean, they controlled Minnesota in this game. 17-7.
Yeah, we did bold predictions last night. Here's one I forgot to mention. I thought of this a few days ago. 49ers defense is going to be like the Tampa Bay defense that won the Super Bowl with in 2000. When they had
with Lynch? You mean?
Yeah, with John Lynch. It's going to be that.
That was a great defense, man. Yeah. With Monty Kiffin.
Yeah, it's
Simeon Rice. You had Warren Sapp. You had all kinds of dudes.
Speed all over that.
Dexter
defense.
Jackson was the MVP of the Super Bowl. Rondé Barber.
I mean, you got speed in the linebackers are the 3 fastest probably as a trio in the NFL. The secondary improved, and the defensive line may be the strength of the defense. So it's crazy. That defense,
a lot of great. Healthy. A lot of great moments tonight, guys. I mean, if you're a Niner fan, that was exciting. Haha says Odom is an A. He got the early interception. We got this one from Eddie, who says that play by Poe.
Oh,
when he straight up flattened that mofo.
Oh,
Eddie. But Poe, what did you guys think of Poe? Yeah.
When he just knocked that guy in the backfield, just knocked him on his can.
Yeah.
That
Niners
kind of attitude is what they need. I think guys like that play like that, Kyle's going to look at guys like that and say, we got to have these guys on the team. We can't have these soft guys. We need mean offensive linemen. That's what they need. Mean offensive linemen.
I love what I saw from Poe. Loved what I saw from Poe. I mean, think about this team. They have Trent Williams. He didn't play. They have Bosa. He didn't play. None of their linebackers played. There was no Jimmy Ward. There was no Hufanga. There was no Charvarius Ward. There was no Debo. There was no Ayuk. Oh, by the way, there was no George Kittle. I mean, we're talking about some of the best players in the NFL that just didn't play tonight, and they just beat the Vikings down 17-7. Didn't play an A game. Just played a good game. Now, granted, in fairness, I mean, there was no Justin Jefferson, right? There was no Adam Thielen. There was no Dalvin Cook. There was no Kirk Cousins. I mean, so I understand it goes both ways. But am I too glowing in my feeling on this game? I didn't see anything. There were some penalties. The Niner receivers, I think when we go to practice this week, I think we're going to see a lot of guys working that jugs gun. You know what I mean? Because they were drops. And not only that, they had easy drops, just like concentration drops. Like get on that jugs machine and catch more footballs and work on that a little bit. Maybe that's what maybe not being in their own place this week. They didn't do their reps of that because they had all kinds of drops.
Yeah. And you know what else? It just really kind of put a smile on my face is they and I don't know if it's because, all of a sudden I'm so close to the team, so I'm no longer objective, but I think normally their drafts, it's like pretty clear, like, okay, that guy's a bust already. That guy's a bust already. That guy's not going to play this year. They didn't have a first round pick this year. And if you go down their first 5 picks, their first pick, 61 overall, Drake Jackson, looks like he has unlimited potential, is going to be a stud. 3rd round pick, TDP, looks like their most physical runner, looks like a stud. 105th pick overall, Danny Gray, going to be a top 10 deep threat in the league. Their next pick was Spencer Burford in the 4th round. He's going to be their starting right guard.
Plug and play starter at right guard in the
starter at right
4th round.
4th round. Guess who they took in the 5th round? Their starting nickel, Samuel Womack.
Oh yeah.
And then
this is like that one draft when they had what was the tight end John Frank, and that they had a whole group of
the 86 draft with Haley and Fagan and all those guys. Yeah, it wasn't Larry Roberts. They kept trading back. Yeah. But they're not done there, right? Because that was the 5th, and they had multiple picks.
Well, then they had Kalia Davis, who
he's great. By the way, Kalia Davis is freaking great.
He's awesome.
I'll tell you that right now.
Awesome. He's going to be awesome.
Niner fans are going to love Kalia Davis.
He's a lineman too, right?
He's a D lineman who moves like a linebacker.
Like DJ Jones.
He's built like DJ Jones.
Yeah.
But he has movement ability like a pass rusher.
And he's going to probably start on IR this year, PUP or?
He's on the NFI list. So non-football injury, I think. I'm not sure what his status will be.
Whatever they got to do, they got to protect him because he's probably.
They'll protect him.
They'll protect him.
That's not it. There's more after that.
Nope. So the other 6th round pick was Nick Zakel, who, and I don't. Maybe that's the first one. He played. He's. I mean, it's not looking
hard
horrible.
To evaluate the interior O-line guys.
Oh yeah, and then the next pick was Tariq Castro Fields.
Right. Who made 3 or 4 solo tackles tonight.
Yep. And then their last pick was Brock Purdy. What a draft.
Brock Purdy was the last pick. And then wait a second. We're not done there because then let's go to the undrafted list for a second. I mean, this is really an impressive list. Amazing. So you mentioned there's Tay Martin. He's a player. Trust me when I say that. Jason Poe is a player.
Yes.
Jordan Mason is a player.
McCrary Ball.
Marcelino McCrary Ball is a player.
Yeah.
There was a couple plays in this game by Saguna Luby. who made a really nice play. Taylor Hawkins, the San Diego State corner, who's now slated at safety, had an interception in this game. And then we're not even talking about the guy who's
West.
Well, no, I don't know about West because I don't think he's going to make it. But Quantrez Knight. Quantrez Knight has been running with the with the ones, I believe, at free safety this last week. So, for some snaps. So they had a phenomenal haul. If you count their draft picks and you just count the number of rookies who are going to make this team, when this is already one of the NFL's deeper rosters, shows you. I bet you that number's like 12.
Yeah,
they're gonna add like 12 rookies that all can play. I mean, this Lynch and his staff need to be credited for this draft. Yes. This was a hell of a draft.
Yeah. Well, the Giants are up in the 9th inning here, down 3-2.
No, they're down, right? Oh,
yeah, down 3-2. I mean, they're batting.
Yeah,
3-2. Bard's in with Flores. Giants either better win this game
or what?
Well, I mean, I should say this. They better not lose it in extra because I took the under 6.5. And it's
and if you score, then it goes to,
Just,
here we go. Flores is getting ready to pop one out of here.
If you're going to lose now. Don't I hope they pull it off, but Dustin May tonight of the Dodgers, he makes his return, and he's pitched 5 innings, no runs, 9 strikeouts, 2 base on balls, 1 hit. Dustin May, the guy that was throwing like 98 before he had Tommy John. He's been out for better part of almost 2 seasons. Gosh, so the Dodgers just, they lost Buehler. Now May's going to be fresh. It's going to be just like the Warriors when they went into the playoffs, all fresh with their guys, that were hurt. Hopefully somebody will knock them off still, but I'm still counting on that. Still counting on the Dodgers to choke somehow. But
Giants, as Danny has said, the Giant game is going on, and when it comes complete, if you want to jump in and talk about the Giants, we can do that, I guess.
Yeah, the chat is going down. The chat is going crazy for Jordan Mason right now.
Well, I mean, Jordan Mason.
Not.
Jordan Mason is legit, and I'm going to look up Jordan Mason's. Can you find me Jordan Mason's college numbers?
Yeah, you think Sermon maybe gets dealt before the cut down, or you think they let him play this week? I mean, what's going to happen?
First of all, you never seem like he can have enough running backs. Yeah. There's that factor, but then there's other factors as well. I mean, maybe I actually think that Sermon is a good back. I just think that he's not a great fit for the scheme.
Yeah.
And he's not a great fit for the way Kyle Shanahan goes through his usage of backs. Kyle Shanahan likes to give you a series, and then maybe go a different guy for another series. And you look at that running back depth chart. I mean, we haven't seen Elijah Mitchell at all. He's a total. I mean, he was their number 1 back last year. So you got Elijah Mitchell, and then anybody who's been to camp knows that Jeff Wilson Jr. looks better in this camp than he has ever looked before. And then you've got Ty Davis Price, and you've got Jordan Mason, and you have Jermichael Hasty, and you've got Juszczyk. So I think Sermon might get traded. I know that sounds, Danny, it sounds a little crazy to say, you're going to trade him, but I could see them trading him for like a Trey Sermon equivalent at a different position. Somebody else who was also kind of
maybe a safety would be nice.
What Sermon was a 3rd-round pick. I could see them trading him to, especially if Jimmy went to the Browns, I could see them, throwing Sermon in, who'd be very popular in state there because he went to Ohio State. I could see that because if everybody's healthy, he's probably going to be the odd man out because there's no special teams there where Hasty helps you on special teams. Jordan Mason just looks a little bit quicker, a little bit more powerful, has a little bit more contact balance. But I like Trey Sermon though, and I don't think they'll cut him. I think he's like one of those guys. He's probably a little too valuable to cut.
How about
but
Sermon?
He's probably not good enough to make it.
How about a trade of Sermon, Guy Soulars, and
for Schmidt
for Derwin James?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he got that money.
Tony D says Sermon is now at the bottom of that running back depth chart you just mentioned. Yeah, no, I know. I know he's at the bottom of the chart. So it's like, what do you do? And you're loaded at receiver. Now the question is this. I think you got to seriously debate this question. Do you carry 3 quarterbacks? You can't put Brock Purdy on waivers. Come on. You can't put Brock Purdy on waivers. Wow. You put Brock Purdy on waivers, he's going to wind up in Seattle for 10 years beating you. You cannot put him on waivers. And I don't think you can put Sudfeld on waivers. So I think you're going to have to keep 3. The other interesting one is tight end. Okay, so, Dwelly we saw lined up in the backfield as a fullback. You got Charlie Warner, but man, Tanner Hudson, guys, really looked good in this game. Caught a lot of balls. Now, I don't know how they view Tanner Hudson. I kind of view Croft made an incredible catch as well in this game on a pass from Sudfeld that was just absolutely a dime. So, that's going to be, to me, that the backup tight end spot just got really, really interesting because I think you got to take 3 quarterbacks. I think Sermon clearly is either on the trade market or somebody's going to have to get hurt or he may get cut. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think, he's probably in line to get cut or traded.
It would be a really valuable position if 2 positions, if you could have a kicker, field goal place kicker, who also punts and handles the the kickoffs. And then if you had another guy that was on the staff that could play a different position and be a long snapper, because that's 2 positions that takes up, you got to carry a punter and a kicker, and then you got to carry a long snapper. That's all he does. Yeah. If you can find a guy.
The Niners are invested in Tabor Pepper. They're going to keep Pepper.
I just wish they had a guy that could just be a good long snapper.
Well, they do use their return guys as receivers. There are teams that can leave 1 or 2 spots for just returners. The Niners take their returners and have them play other positions, generally running back, wide receiver, defensive back.
But that allows you for that third quarterback.
You get that extra roster spot. The Georgia Tech stats here that you're putting up. So he went to Georgia Tech 2018 as a freshman. Jordan Mason averaged 6 yards a carry as a freshman.
7 tuds.
In 13 games and 108 attempts. That's impressive. In the ACC, you step out of high school and you're averaging over 6 yards a carry. That's impressive. And if you thought it was accidental, he comes back sophomore year and he goes for 5.2 a carry.
Yeah.
I mean, that's impressive. Now, you're not seeing a lot of receptions, only 17 career receptions, so they didn't throw it to him a lot. But over 5.2 yards per carry career.
Can you look how he did against Clemson, Ryan, specifically?
You can go game log if you want.
Just the last couple years. I'm just curious how he did against Clemson. And
I think I remember looking
up there is pretty good. I mean, 5.0, 4.3, 5.2, 6.1 with a career average of 5.2 a carry. That's really good. That is really good. And then you mix in the fact that he's not some tiny little guy. He's 6'1", 220, 225, almost 230.
Yeah, I think he's one of those weird guys where it's like he has just these unbelievable gifts, and just for whatever reason he was in the wrong situation. It happens in college. And then, guys, this is maybe a specific question for you, Larry. The other thing that needs to be considered is pass blocking. So that's one thing I don't really know. I haven't really been watching for. Like, is Sermon? I mean, like, how would you order like the pass
D-line second? I mean, none of the starters played, right? So the Vikings second team D-line was better than the 49ers backup O-line. There's no question. But I mean, like, I before we overreact to that, Sutherland.
I meant like running
Sutherland, I think, was a big problem today.
I meant running back pass blocking. Like, who are the best blockers out of our running backs? Because I know that's like a huge. Like, that's the thing that holds Saquon Barkley back. Like,
I mean, Ty Davis Price, I think, is a good blocker. I've seen him do it. Jeff Wilson, I think, is a pretty good blocker.
Yeah. because that's the only reason I could
Michael
see him
Hastings is a good blocker.
Yeah.
He really is. He'll stick his head in there. We've got
Oh,
Flav.
tie Giants game. Your boy just put, just for fun, because I'm feeling the Niners love. I just decided, you know what? I'll put $10 on the Giants 16-1 to win this game.
They didn't tie it, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Crawford
down the
No
left field
way.
line.
Okay, you're ahead of me. Okay. All right.
Crawford just doubled in Slater.
Wow.
3-3. Giants, by the way, getting out hit 11-5 in this game.
There goes my
Flav donates $9.99. Says Trey has never made me feel good about getting rid of Jimmy G. Purdy does, though. This kid looks more like a seasoned vet in 2 preseason games than Lance has in over a year. Can't chance losing Purdy. Flav, all I would say is
the little one.
They got the right guy in Trey.
Yes.
There's no doubt in my mind, and I've been saying it all along. He's the right guy. But you got to remember this. You're looking at 2 extremes. You're looking at one of probably the most experienced rookie quarterbacks you're going to see, and one of the most inexperienced rookie quarterbacks you're ever going to see. Trey is not going to look smooth right away. Trey, though, is all about football, and he's got a high-end brain, a high-end body, and you're going to see him get better and better and better and better. And then he's going to win the Super Bowl. And it may take a little while, may take a year or 2, may take 3, but Trey Lance loves the process of football, and he's a phenomenal athlete, and he's just going to get better and better. Now, it may not be a severe arc. It may be a gradual arc. There will be some bumps on the road. There will be some turnovers and mistakes, but what you're looking at is a really smart kid who's going to get nothing but better. But what you're looking at with Purdy is a finished product. And they got him with the last pick in the draft. Unbelievable.
Check this review out.
What's that?
Check the review out. Estrada, from the live view, looked like he might have got his hand. He dove into first. Let me see.
Danny keeps dragging us back to this boring Giants team.
He's out. Yeah.
Yeah, you're a little behind.
Dang it, 3-3. Well, I hope they win, but because I lost the bet.
Yeah, he's out. 3-3.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I guess
3-3 going bottom 9, right? 3-3 bottom 9. So we'll keep following it. We'll keep following it on the Giant front, because we know we got a lot of Giants fans in here too. But there's no question. Dusty Gold says, Larry, you keep all 3 quarterbacks. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. I thought Sudfeld looked pretty good too. I don't love Sudfeld, and when I watch him in practice every day, I'm like, I don't know if I'm seeing it.
He had that one doesn't look great to me. Tight end had it in his hand, started running upfield, then dropped it on who was that tight end? It wasn't Dwelly. It was
Hudson.
Yeah, no, yeah. I think it was Hudson.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, nice catch. Right there in the sweet spot.
Mario Trutanic says Sudfeld is a better Ken Dorsey. He definitely plays. He definitely knows the offense at this point, and he seems like he plays under control. There were the Niners O-line struggled at times, but even though the Niner O-line struggled, I felt like we saw Sudfeld and Purdy both find a rhythm. Usually, if your O-line's really struggling, the quarterback can't find any rhythm to speak of. But I thought both guys played with rhythm. Tony D says the 49ers definitely can't risk losing Purdy. No, they can't, especially in this league where there's so many quarterbacks that don't see it. They don't see it.
Corral went down today for Carolina.
Matt Corral done for the year with a Liz Frank injury.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, coming out of the weekend, it makes you wonder if there's a quarterback injury of significance, will that lead to a Jimmy G trade? And maybe now, after watching Purdy and watching Sudfeld and seeing the potential of Lance, do you feel better about just cutting Jimmy G loose if you're a 49er fan?
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
you can't hang on to him on the roster at the end. I mean, he's got to be gone by the 30th.
It doesn't have to be. I don't know if you saw Jed York today. Jed York said they're fine keeping him on the roster
and paying him $25 million.
That's what he said. That's what he said. Is that more of a bluff? I don't know. I mean, they've kept him. They've kept him this long.
Is it true they haven't given him a playbook or anything like that?
Well, he knows the playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the new
Andrew
stuff.
Menard donates $5. He says, "Do you think Jed's comments around keeping Jimmy is just a bluff, or is this a real possibility?" It's a great question.
It's posturing.
It's a great question. Is it posturing for a trade?
Yeah.
Is it basically telling everybody around the league, you know what? We can keep this player. His contract becomes guaranteed at the beginning of the season. That's the situation. If you saw the story today, though, Jed York sat down with our friend Tim Kawakami, and he reiterated that the Niners are willing to keep Garoppolo on the active roster moving forward, even though they're going with Lance as the starter. And immediately it makes you wonder, is he bluffing, or is this just a distinct possibility? He says you can't have enough good quarterbacks and enough good football players. It seems almost impossible from a financial standpoint.
Can they restructure the contract?
$26.9 million against the cap in the final year of his 5-year, $137 million deal. Niners can save $25 million if they trade him or release him. They only have currently $807,000 of salary cap room. And I'm sure they'd love to get an asset or two back for Garoppolo. How much? I mean, he had the shoulder surgery, and that kind of delayed the trade. Maybe he would have already been traded by now if he had not had the shoulder surgery. But all these teams in the league can look at the Niners, and they can see those same numbers I just read to you. They know that the Niners only have less than $1 million of cap room. And so they're waiting around. They're waiting around for Lynch to cut him loose and make him a free agent. And though, he's coming off a real solid year, Jimmy last year, 68%, 20 touchdowns, 12 picks, 3 rushing touchdowns. Niners went to the NFC Championship game. So I don't know. I'm not sure what to say. I will say this. When you look at, did you guys watch any of Seattle this weekend?
I didn't.
If you watch any of that, Drew Lock
He looked bad.
Has won just 8 of 21 games he's played so far with the Broncos, with the Broncos before he got shipped off to Seattle. And Geno Smith is 13-21 as a starter. Locke didn't even play in this game because he's got COVID. Geno went 10 of 18 for 112 yards and then left the game with a bruised knee. So there's Seattle sitting right there. Then there's the Browns. And Jacoby Brissett is 13-24 career as a starter. Where you got Jimmy sitting there who's 33-14 career.
It's weird because the suspension at 11 games puts them in an interesting spot, because if it was only 6 or 8, even 8 games, I feel like you could maybe talk yourself into Brissett. 11 games, I feel like you're kidding yourself if you think that Deshaun Watson's just going to roll onto the field week 12 and just and play well. So I think it gets to a point where if it was 6 or 8 games, I would just roll with Brissett. But I mean, they have a Super Bowl caliber roster, and Jimmy Garoppolo, I mean, there is a world that he could take that team to the Super Bowl. It's not out of the question.
Yeah, they go with Brissett. They're going to be 4-7 when Watson comes.
See, here's my thing on this is that I kind of think that the tea leaves have already kind of, the die's been cast.
Yeah.
Andrew Berry, the general manager of the Browns, if you have no interest in Jimmy Garoppolo as your starter, you give a voice of confidence or a vote of confidence to Brissett. He's had many public opportunities this week to do, exactly that, and he hasn't done it. He has not said that Jacoby Brissett's our quarterback. So makes you think maybe he's going to the Browns. Jason says, if Kinlaw has a great year, how much credit does Grant Cohn take for his success?
Quality control.
How much will he take, or how much should he take?
Oh, God.
He doesn't deserve any of the credit for his success.
No.
And I think Grant would say that too. Flav here says, here's $9.99. Can't keep Jimmy without losing Purdy now, too. No chance they keep Jimmy G now. Hope you're right about Trey. Just happy the team has a quarterback to fall back on if Lance looks like he did against Arizona and the Texans. In the first half against the Texans. Yeah. I mean, I think you're going to see some bumps in the road. I love this one from Mark Hope. Tim Kawakami's good, and Jed York is good too. How was the Stubblefield Michael Carter comparison by Ira Miller? Ira Miller. Thomas.
Oh yeah, wait. That's a good call. That you know what? That's me sleeping at the wheel. Why do I still have this graphic up?
What is this big graphic in the middle of the screen?
Just Jordan Mason's college stats from 25 minutes ago.
From 20 minutes ago, we were talking about it. Eddie
about
says,
Joey
we
Bart,
survived the bottom of the we survived the bottom of the ninth. LOL.
How about Joey Bart's blast? Number 10. My prediction came true that he'd be hitting over 210 homers this year. So
my prediction came true that Danny would be bragging about a former Giants take in the Niners post game.
Yeah, seriously. Overall though, I mean, I think you got to be really, really impressed by the 49ers. Now, it wasn't a perfect outing. It wasn't the kind of game where you go sit there and go, wow, they're going to the Super Bowl, but they sat 25 guys. Basically the entire team of their starters didn't play, and their quarterbacks both completed 70+% of their passes. The Niners ran for over 4 yards a carry. They struggled on 3rd and 4th down in the first half, but then they were money on 3rd and 4th down conversions in the second half. Mason looked good. Davis Price looked good. Sudfeld looked good. Purdy looked good. Tanner Hudson had a terrific game. Danny Gray had a couple catches. So, yeah. I think overall, offensively, you got to feel really good. I mean, the young offensive linemen did some good things. They pushed some guys around. Still not determined, but
at the end of the half to Danny Gray in the end zone was thrown right where he wanted it to be thrown. I mean, it was, defensive back couldn't get it. Only Gray could get it, but he was out of bounds. But that was a hurry up offense. 9 seconds left, I think it was. So it was like you got to go to the end zone if you're going to try and get a field goal if you don't make the play. And I thought that throw was a nice throw. I mean, you see some.
Gary's back. NFL preseason. It's an outrage. Damn. No. What'd you think about the general vibe of the team? I thought the vibe, playing body language doctor here. I thought the vibe of the team they seem so confident. Like those comments by Ayuk and them against.
Ayuk's like, I don't like these practices. I don't like head to head. He's kind of a weird personality.
He is a weird personality. I don't really understand.
I don't get a vibe from him. Like he seems very inconsistent. Like some days he seems happy. Some days he seems kind of pissed. Some days he's like super impatient. Some days he's kind of reflective. He's a different interview.
Yeah. Yeah, he absolutely is. And the point of the practice, the same team practices, is it's like you get to practice against guys that know how to practice. You get to play against starters. And I don't see how that couldn't be beneficial.
You don't have to play your own D.
Yeah.
And you get to take on a different D, and you get to take on teams that have. I think it was really, if you said, what did the 49ers get the most out of those practices this week? I would say that it was the receivers. So I think it's interesting that the Niner receivers, I think, got the most out of it. Why? Because if you play a team like the 49ers that gets up on the line of scrimmage and plays press man and tries to reroute you, there's a physical battle at the line. But mentally, it's a little bit easier. When you play a team like the Vikings that play a ton of zone and a lot of off coverage, you have to run your route and be able to take on the defender and kind of not push off, but play off the defender somehow, and it takes reps. So, it seems easier. I mean, and we saw a number of passes today where the Niners said, hey, you want to play off coverage? And we'll just go a little pivot route and throw it underneath and kind of force you to jump our guys. And if you're going to give us room at the line, we'll take it. We'll take what the defense gives you. And they did that a few times. Sudfeld had a number of completions on those kind of short in front of the defense routes. But as far as reps and getting ready for every kind of defense that's out there, I love the fact they took on the Vikings, and I love the fact that the Vikings play a ton of zone off coverage, because it's a different feel for the receivers to kind of feel how they can absorb that defender, work off of him, use his leverage against him, you set him up. It's not, everything doesn't just happen in a quick hand fight, or like you beat guys at the line of scrimmage with quickness. Like for Danny Gray can beat you with quickness at the line. So I think if I was a team, I'd rather play off coverage. One, he's less chance he's running by you. Two, make him think a little bit. He's got a physical advantage on you. He's fast. So make him wonder how you're gonna defend the route. Make him wonder exactly how aggressive you'll be at the mesh point between the receiver and the DB. It's a different deal. So I like that. I thought they got something out of it. But I mean, he's just basically saying, hey, I didn't get a lot out of it. So he's entitled to his opinion. I thought it was interesting too that Shanahan put more credence in the practices than the game tonight.
Yeah.
It kind of makes you think, is this the future of the NFL, where they're just going to say, you know what, we're going to stop screwing our fans and playing preseason games. We're going to play more practices.
I think absolutely, because it's like if there's teachable moments, you can run plays back. And here's the other thing: you don't have to worry about your quarterback getting injured. Like that's the biggest thing. You don't have to worry about your quarterback getting hit. It does seem like it's the future, and I feel like it's such a copycat league. And because the Rams won the Super Bowl, teams are only going to move more and more towards devaluing the preseason.
You're probably going to
go ahead.
You'll be down. You'll be up to 18 games in a year or two, and 2 preseason games, maybe even 1. College football, they don't do any preseason games. They just go right into it.
Yeah, but Alabama gets to play like Appalachian State.
Not always.
Bunch of crap.
Not always. They played USC a few years ago, opening up. I mean, they killed them.
No, but he just means that they take time off in the season for patty cakes.
Oh yeah, they always do that. But
they don't play. If you have a true freshman corner and he's playing in his first college game, who knows how he's going to react? He was in high school last year.
Yeah, they go right into it. I mean, they're. And a lot of times the first game or two is a big game. What was it last year? We've had LSU.
Well, they always have
Washington.
A kickoff classic.
They always have a really some good games the first week. So, those guys get ready. I mean, you don't need preseason. It's all about money. It's all about money for the NFL. And if you look at the games themselves, half the stands are empty. People don't show up much for preseason.
Well, they give those tickets away. Most season ticket holders give the tickets away. Just looking at the Vikings tonight, though, Kellen Mond, 50%, 10 of 20, 82 yards, 2 picks. Didn't look good. Sean Mannion was a little better, but he was off target a few times. They didn't look like much. I'll tell you, the couple guys who stood out for Minnesota, that running back they have, Ty Chandler out of North Carolina, who had the touchdown, who really pushed the pocket on that touchdown run, or really pushed not the pocket, but pushed the scrum. He really kind of ran through everybody there. I thought that was impressive. He looked good. We didn't see Justin Jefferson. We didn't see Thielen. We didn't see Dalvin Cook. Did Danielle Hunter play in this game? If he did, I didn't see him.
No.
So, the Vikings didn't play any of their top guys for the most part either, but they did very little on offense against this 49er defense. And this Niner defense and the Vikings were at home. And the Niner defense basically sat all of their stars. So
I didn't see anybody, carted off or limping off the field tonight. Was there?
That's another one. There were not. I didn't see any. I didn't see any injuries. Did you see any injuries at all?
No, I mean,
No.
cross your fingers. The Niners are
Yeah.
usually one of the most injured teams in the league, and I saw a stat, something D'Amico, or they charted the most injured defenses in the league, and I think the Niners were 4th last year, and yet they were still a top 5 defense, and that got me thinking, man, if their defense is really what we think that it might be this year, I don't see D'Amico Ryans. I don't see how he doesn't get a head coaching job.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other topic that kind of was broached earlier this week, is that Vic Fangio, a lot of speculation that Vic Fangio may at some point come out of retirement. And he was watching the Niners earlier this offseason. And if D'Amico were to get a head coaching job this next year at the end of the year, maybe you'd see Vic come back. The one thing is I can't see them going to a 3-4. And I know Vic's done a 3-4 for a lot of his career. Would he adjust? That's the thing. I mean, you've got Coach Eric now. You've got a D line that gets up the field, gets a lot of pressure. Would Vic adjust and run the 4-3 defense, or would he, want to run the 3-4? I mean, they have the linebackers to do it. That's for sure. They got a ton of good linebackers. But that one's interesting because Vic has been at their practices and he's a highly regarded coach, and Jed loves him. So
Giants
that would be pretty magical.
10th.
Yeah,
still 3-3.
Yeah, Belton Bart struck out, and then Yaz grounded out to first. So the Rockies just need one run, and that would be typical. That would be really typical for them to come back, tie it up.
Yeah, I'm cool. I already hedged out. I just put $50 on the Rockies when they're plus 100.
Val Ramos says, "Do you think Sermon is getting cut?"
Make the good picks.
I would say no. Sermon doesn't get cut, but I don't think he makes the team. So what does that mean? I could see him being traded. I think you could find, maybe you could find another player that also was a 3rd-round pick. I've been reading over and over and over again that the Bears are shopping Tevin Jenkins, who they try to tackle. Now they're playing him at right guard. And a guy like Tevin Jenkins is a big, powerful, run blocker. Maybe a team like the 49ers that has, McGlinchey, you don't know about McGlinchey and you're not really sure about right guard. I mean, I would take Tevin Jenkins in a trade for Trey Sermon. I absolutely would. And, maybe there's a D tackle. Maybe there's a safety. Maybe there's a corner. Maybe there's somebody at a different position where you're not stacked because you're so stacked at running back. You on paper, you should probably give Sermon more time. Yeah. But since you have so many backs, maybe you find a willing trade partner. If you said to me, tell me what you think is going to happen, that's what I think is going to happen. I think that they won't cut him, but he won't make the team. And so they'll wind up trading him for a player they think will make the team. That's my guess. We'll see. Yeah,
I mean, I think you're exactly right. I think you're right, Laird. I mean, that's the beauty of this roster. They really don't have a massive hole anywhere. So if we did decide to trade Sermon for somebody, it could be any position really outside of quarterback. We could always use another guy wherever. And that's just kind of the beauty of having such a loaded roster. We're flexible. Or
maybe there's a hand-picked player you really want, Kadarius Toney from the New York Giants, or, he's a receiver, but, they're pretty loaded at receiver. But, I'll tell you the one thing it's really hard to picture is that with 3 good quarterbacks that you don't want to expose to waivers, how do you take 6 running backs? How do you keep Mitchell, Wilson, Sermon, Price, Ty Davis Price, Hasty, and Jordan Mason? I don't think you can. I think you might only keep 4. Yeah. So I mean then who gets cut? So I mean obviously you're not cutting Mitchell, you're not cutting Jeff Wilson, you're not cutting Davis Price. He was your 3rd round pick this year.
This is where you need Farhan.
And then then it comes down to, so you got those 3. If you can have only one If you could have only one, now this might be the question. If you could have only one, these are some of the and I've seen these kinds of debates in the room, and guys literally start fighting over it. If you could only have one of Sermon, Hasty, or Jordan Mason,
I seriously don't think I'm living. I don't think I'm living in the moment by saying Jordan Mason.
I don't either.
And I think those other two are good backs. It's just
Hasty makes some mistakes on special teams.
Yeah,
I do love Hasty.
I love
nice cut for the 2-point conversion by Hasty. Nice move.
I know he's so versatile, but
he's quick as hell. He's tough, but he'll put it on the carpet from time to time. He makes some mistakes. That's probably that might be the debate right there. Mitchell's going to make it. Jeff Wilson's going to make it. Ty Davis Price is going to make it. Obviously, Juice is going to make it. So that's 4. And if you can only keep 5 backs total, and it comes down to Hasty, Sermon, or Mason, who are you going with? And I would probably agree with Rye. I think I would go with Mason. Matthew Mears says, oh, by the way, Jaguayo 56 donates $2. Thank you, Jaguayo. He says Krug, Poe, Mason, Lenore, Purdy, Kinlaw all look good. Oh, I agree. That's a great list, by the way. That was the other bright spot is that, we're starting to see, like, when you invest in a bunch of young players at a position, they're not all going to make it, but some are probably. They invested in a bunch of young O-linemen. Now, what do you got? You got Burford and you got Poe and maybe Zakel.
Yep.
These guys really look good. And then, they invested in a lot of young DBs. Well, guess what? Now you got, Diamador Lenore. You got Quantrez Knight. You got Sammy Womack.
I can no longer tell if we're being punked. Is this the real Damon Bruce? It could be. No.
No. I see Gary Radnich is in here. How is the old man? It could be D. Bruce. Could be. That's a good looking picture, Damon.
It is.
Wouldn't you say? That's a good looking picture.
A realistic picture.
Usually when people want to put pictures of somebody Damon, do something, say something in the chat that lets me know. Give me something in the chat, Damon, that lets me know that you are actually you and not an imposter.
Yeah, there we go.
Seriously, because there are things, Damon and I know each other so well that he could probably tell me something. He could say something in the chat that I absolutely know that he knows that nobody else knows.
Where the bodies are buried.
Well, or just people that we both know. He could name somebody we both know.
Yeah, I think Graves is right. How about this,
Damon? If that is you, Damon, long time ago when I was on Sports Byline, produced a show for me and another guy. What was the other guy's name? If Damon says that, that's actually Damon. If he doesn't know that, then it's not Damon.
Yeah. I think Graves is right. I think it's the same guy who was Radnich.
Glass half full guy donates $4.99. Secondary looks much improved. I'm seeing many multi-turnovers from this defense this year. You know what's the most amazing thing about that glass half full? Is that Jimmy Ward is the best player on the team, in my opinion. I know there's Bosa and this and that, but like if you watch this team come out and start practicing, Jimmy Ward's the leader. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Ward's the first in line. Jimmy Ward's in the best shape. Jimmy Ward can cover you or hit you. Jimmy Ward is respected by the coaches and the players. Jimmy Ward is terrific. And so's Hufanga. And so's Charvarius.
I'll bet you Ward
and so's E-Man. So's Mosley. And none of those guys played tonight.
In the turnovers,
your starting secondary, the entire starting secondary, none of them played. By the way, Rockies win 4-3.
Yep, there you go.
On what was that?
I think
Brandon Rogers.
Yeah. Whatever.
There it is.
Out hit.
Bye, Giants.
Danny.
Gee, many.
You
couldn't have lost 3-2. You had to lose 4-3. That's just, dang it.
I had 25 to win 230. So, I recouped, but man, that would have been nice.
Let's see. Oh,
you
yeah.
Didn't win the 230?
No.
Romo 2001. Rockies walk it off. Brian
Busted Slater
Lucina with his
bucket.
Ira Miller. New Orleans is good, and Fresno is good. It's good.
I'll tell you, man, this team, they win 5 in a row, they lose 4 in a row. What have we been saying for weeks? This is what 500 clubs do. Win 5, lose 5.
Danny,
Lose 7,
it's
win
cute how you get mad about the Giants when they've been out of it for weeks.
Oh, I know. I'm more frustrated that they didn't lose 3-2 than they lost. I kind of
Brewers lost again.
I want them to win, but
If you had gone into the HOA meeting with the game on your phone, like rolling, like play by play, would those ladies have thought, "Man, that's so cute that Dan's got this passion about Giants baseball," or would you have been kicked into the hallway?
Oh, they probably would have wanted to kick me in the hallway because they're like,
"Get out of our meeting! We're talking about holes in the roof."
Yeah,
you know what?
Hey, speaking of holes in the roof, I just had to go inspect the person's hole in the roof that they were just talking about that got patched up. They called me, and I'm like, "Oh my goodness!"
Wait, you know what? We have a lot of non-regulars in here because a lot of people that don't watch the Giants games.
Oh, a lot of Niner fans. We got 200 plus people in the room right now, just hanging out.
For reference, this is what Dan's talking about.
The roof directly above the hole is on page 2 and is the top picture. This is why the hole was generated, because the roof is bad.
So just so everyone has a little bit of history here, I know I talked to somebody, a couple of you before the meeting, but this is the third homeowner since.
I was having the time of my
That
life
is
in
just
there.
awesome. I can watch that literally. I like when people and this is the hole. Ooh. Ooh. How would they respond if it was like one of those Florida sinkholes? Have you seen that where like the entire sidewalk falls apart?
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
It's this massive hole.
Yeah,
that is awesome. That is awesome. By the way, we got a couple really good, educated fans in our audience. We've got this one on here, Eddie KS24. He says, "Fucking shit." There you go.
What about the Giants?
Pretty sure that's in relation to the end of the Giants game.
Yeah,
but
I had this call today. This lady called me.
That's well said. I was just saying that.
I should have taped this one call today. I had this 70-plus-year-old call me today, and she was so mad because her mailbox had fallen down, and the association needed to come pick it up. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do with it? In fact, I went and took some pictures of it actually. But she's going, I'm 7 years old and I don't have time for this. And you could tell the person who's running this association to shut it. She's like,
nice.
Going off.
Is that Earl Weaver's wife?
Yeah, so there's her mailbox. There's her mailbox. It's a four home mailbox.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And, Wait. There it is.
Oh my goodness.
So I picked it up, put some rocks around it, and stood it back up.
Out of bed.
Look at you.
I think we're okay to play these. I really want to play this Jordan Mason run. This is Rob Loader just filming from his phone, so I think it's fine.
Rob had great seats. Look where Rob was sitting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Look at this freaking balance.
Huh? That's Mason there, isn't it?
That's a big back, man. That's a 230-pound back who's running with high knee action. That was nice. Can we see that again, Ryan? This is the stretch run. Gutierrez got out there. I'll tell you, I liked what I saw out of Poe. He's sitting there.
He runs a little bit like?
He moves well. Who are you
talking
talking
about?
Mason?
Like a little bit like. He reminds me got a little bit of Marshawn in him with his power.
Runs a little upright. Kind of, he reminds me of, Danny, reminds me of Marion Barber.
Yeah.
Remember Marion Barber played for the Minnesota Golden Gophers, played for Dallas.
I'll tell you, guys like
this guy deals punishment. Look at guys. Look at the contact balance, and look at guys just kind of fall off this guy.
Was he like the number 2 back at Georgia Tech?
He was there. Oh, they had 2 backs. Yes, they did have 2 backs.
When Marshawn Lynch was there, they had Justin Forsett.
Oh, he was so good.
behind him, and he hardly, he didn't play a ton at Cal. He played, but Cal had
Alvin
a string.
Kamara.
Hey, Forsett, look it up. Averaged 8.3 yards per carry for the California Golden Bears.
Hey, Cal had like
3 yards per carry.
Cal had like 4 or 5 backs in
Javid
a row
Best
that were really, really good. Best.
Javid Best until he hurt his.
Javid Best had the concussion.
The first one that was supposed to be really good, he never really had a great NFL career, was J.J. Harrington.
Well, before we go back to Mark Hicks, go back even further.
Oh my gosh, guys!
They had the other guy too. They had another guy before Mark Hicks, who was a great high school back, and I forget who they had.
Anderson.
Yeah, C.J.
Anderson was a good bowling ball back. Yeah. I'm going even further back. Jaguayo 56 says, here's $2. Krug, Mitchell, TDP, Mason, and Hasty are his 4 backs. Mitchell. Okay, I think I would go Mitchell, TDP, Mason.
Where's Wilson?
And Wilson.
Yeah, that's what
I would take Wilson over Hasty. But you know what, Jaguayo? We have had the advantage of being at practice. And all I got to say is if you haven't seen Jeff Wilson this year, watch out. Man, Jeff Wilson looks better this year than he has ever looked before. He's lean, he's mean, he's fast, he's good. He's looking really good.
He showed it
so
before
TDP and Mason and Wilson would be more of your power backs. And then
TDP is the fastest back they have.
Yeah, but he's powerful.
Too. He's 225, yeah.
But he's probably the best combo of all of them, huh? As far as speed and power.
I don't know. I mean, I think they're all really versatile. I had to put this one up. Last Giants thing. So about 10 minutes ago, Robert Rothberg said, "It is imperative that the Giants win tonight." And then he said, "Hello, Larry. This comment is for you. Presently, I'm speechless."
There we go.
I think he's finally thrown in the towel.
I know he's waving the white flag. Robert, it's all right. It's okay.
Hey, what happened to Elliot Ramos? I thought he's here. He's on his way to Denver.
Maybe he's having dinner at Machete.
Is he observing the game with Farhan in the press box? And
is he at Red Rocks taking in a concert? I mean, what the hell? Where is he?
I mean, if he's there, put him in the lineup. Gosh, just
look at Danny getting frustrated. Hey, there's no room in the lineup because you got to play Lamont Wade, who's now down to 183.
Oh, but he did get moved down tonight from leadoff to second.
Yeah. You got to hit him up top. It's late night Lamont.
Yes, you got to put him at second. They had Belt at 8 tonight and Bart 9. Yeah. Belt just looks like he's just done. He's just
he is done. He is done. Yeah, no, I mean, the Giants right now are such, it's frustrating. We can talk about the Giants, but every time we do, it's like, it's frustrating.
The chat
it's absolutely frustrating.
189 to 186. As soon as you said the word Giants, boom.
Exactly.
49ers. Let me see that thing go up.
Yeah, exactly. You talk Niners, people jump into the chat. You talk Giants, they're like, where's Brad? Where's Grant? Glass half full guy, $4.99. He says, not 49er related, but can we please bring up Elliot Ramos? Is that asking too much? Clearly it is. Clearly it is. Damon Bruce says, how could I forget, Larry, you and Towney? No, come on.
Oh, he's trying.
That means that was a good try, but now you've outed yourself as not the real Damon Bruce. Don't give me sports, don't build character, they reveal it. Now he's going with these on-air things.
He's going to come up with things. Yeah.
No. The real D. Bruce would have known who he produced for, and it wasn't Towney. Mark Hope says, by the way, Laura Britt is so freaking awesome. She kills it. I don't need any more pop on the Giants pre and post. All right. Good for you. I always thought she was fine. I'll say this. I think she knows what she's talking about. It's funny. Tim Ryan had the hair going long tonight. Gladstone Duck says, Tim Ryan looks like he can play already. Tim Ryan played at like 295. And I think he's like 260 right now.
He's just such a cool looking dude. I feel like every guy's like, man, I wish I could just look like that for like a couple weeks. Just so jacked with just an awesome jawline and just cool ass hair.
Tim looks, like he's got
That-
the long hair going.
That
and-
voice.
exactly.
Seems like he like absorbed all the testosterone from like a twin baby that was never born or something.
No ID says TDP has speed and power. That's what's so incredible about TDP. You're talking about 230-pound back almost, who's one of the fastest backs they have. I thought he was incredible. The question is going to be who at the end of the year is the 49ers number one back? Because you could say it's Mitchell, but you could say it's TDP. Yeah. I mean, to me, it's probably one of those two guys. That would be my guess. It could be Wilson, but I just think it's more Ty Davis Price and Elijah Mitchell, I think, are their two best backs. And Mitchell's kind of shifty, and
here's
definitely
what I like about what
Ty Davis Price will run you over, though.
If you can keep those guys, they always go down, running backs, but miss a game or two. But keeping them healthy, Jeff Wilson, I still remember 2019 in the playoffs. He was unbelievable. And then that one game he came
versus
in
the Patriots when he had like 4 touchdowns.
Jeff Wilson is they say before games gets into a deep dark place. And he's just like a take no prisoners kind of a guy. Take no prisoners.
Hey guys.
Oh, there we go. There's Buster. There's Faith.
There's a couple of prisoners.
Yeah, exactly. They're trapped.
What are you guys doing?
They're like, I wish this wasn't a 55 and over crowd.
Sit, Buster.
They're all synced up.
My master went to the meeting the other day. He came back. He had no shirt on. Oh my God. I know those women have holes in their roofs, but I'm hungry for some treats.
Buster, come on. Show us. Sometimes he'll we don't want to see the Pasquale. Okay.
Eric Hernandez, like that. He's gone. Yeah, exactly. Come on. Brian Lucena, the idea of having an on-base percentage guys at the top of the lineup is an archaic idea. I mean, it's fine. It's fine that they're but I mean, when it ain't working, Cap, adjust. Freaking unbelievable. It's August 20th. The guy's hitting 183. Don't you think, I don't know, if it was going to happen, it would have happened by now? Right? I mean, what are you waiting for? Well, we hope to get to September and we'll get this guy going. And what? It's unbelievable. I mean, it's just like very disappointed in Kapler's managing this year. I just feel like so many decisions he made like before the season and before the game and not in the season and not during the games. And that's frustrating to watch to the point where I'd almost rather talk Niners all day and all night and never talk about the Giants again. No, I shouldn't say that. I like talking about the Giants.
You know what? This is good information.
I feel like we've, MF says bring up eyes on Diaz. I mean, we've been saying that for weeks. I mean, they just,
they need an exorcism.
Yeah.
Gladstone Duck, this is good information for everyone out there. Niners are playing on Amazon Prime on Thursday. That's good to know. Do you know who they're? I know.
I was thinking, do you guys know, is there any, and maybe anybody in the chat knows, is there any non-Amazon Prime, like is any outlet, NFL Network, Channel 2, Channel 5, Channel Cron, is there anybody who besides Amazon Prime that's covering that game? Do I have to sit there and go through this exercise? Because you know me, I'm going to watch the game. There's no way and if I don't have Amazon Prime between now and game time, I will be getting Amazon Prime.
You can use my account, Larry.
Do I want to get him? Like, what is good on Amazon Prime? And is there anybody who has Anonymous says Amazon Prime has the exclusive rights. So that means there's no local option for Amazon Prime? Nothing?
I don't think so. Oh, they're saying listening to KMBR. I mean, Prime's great to have. I mean, I have
it's not on. That's not video. That's just audio.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, Prime is like, Larry, you probably have it, or maybe your wife or one of your kids set it up. I mean, I think it's like $60 a year, and then it's like it allows you to get 1-day delivery on everything and free shipping and
for ordering things. But then it also gives you all of the streaming stuff. So
It's
probably worth it. It's probably worth it. Carlo P says, here's $5. I'm happy Nicaragua won the Little League World Series today. First win since 1970. Way to go to Nicaragua. We had a team from Danville that made it out there.
That was the 13-year-old team.
They weren't in this thing?
No, this is Williamsport. This is the
these are 12-year-olds?
Yeah, 12-year-olds. So they probably beat, I know Washington was in there, Tennessee was in there, a couple. I don't know what which team came out of the U.S. because they always have a international team face a team from the U.S.
What do you think of this one? Eddie says, I'm pretty sure the local market will be able to see it on one of the local stations.
Could be.
Is that you think so?
Maybe not.
That seems almost like defeat the purpose.
Yeah. No, I think this is the point. They, buy the rights. It forces you to.
Mario, Nicaragua could beat the Giants.
That would be a game.
Oh man. No, but I would say overall great. Obviously the Giants 4-game losing streak. The Giants, I'm looking at the TV, 19-31 against the NL West. So that's their problem. They can't beat the teams in the division.
Yeah, they're 12 under. Jeez.
Yeah, in the division. Yeah. And unfortunately, see all these people that were like, oh yeah, but the Giants could just make some big run at the end. Wait a second. They're getting crushed by their division. And don't they play their division mostly down the stretch? Yeah. Or is that the old schedule? I don't know. I have to look at their schedule, but
they go from 2 under 500 a week or so ago to 2 over, and now they're back 2 under. This is like just.
Jay says Nicaragua has a pitcher that throws a fastball faster than Tyler Rogers.
Well, that's guaranteed. There's probably a Nicaraguan middle schooler out there. Did you guys see the little clip that surfaced of Adam Thielen dapping up Trey Lance and told him to hit him up in the offseason?
No, I didn't.
I did see the Trey Lance, though, taking the picture with his high school.
Oh, I saw
those kids from his high school. That's cool. That's cool. Those kids look super happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's funny, one of the comments that we used today, I did the Talk Sport pregame show in London. And one of the cuts that we used from the week that I thought was really interesting was from Nick Bosa. And he was talking about Trey Lance and how, what he thinks of Trey Lance. And, sometimes you hear Nick Bosa and you're like, I don't know how well these guys know each other. Sometimes they seem like they don't know each other that well. But Nick Bosa went out of his way to say, Trey Lance is a terrific kid who comes from a great family. So
you want me to play it, Lair?
Do you have it? Yeah. Well, this is a great cut from Nick Bosa talking about the Niner quarterback. It's really, really interesting, I thought.
I think he was kind of natural with it, even the first day he was in the building. Just really personable and hard not to like. Just really nice and just really engaging with everybody, no matter who you are on the team, which is really cool coming from a top pick and now the starting quarterback. So just an amazing kid from a really good family. And he's got Trent Williams and George Kittle and a lot of veterans around him to help him along with the leadership. But I think once he starts playing well, it'll come naturally.
Yeah. Jay says player character is important. I mean, that's what he's basically Bosa's saying there. It's like, hey, he's a great kid from a really good family, and he wants to get better. And he was asked about, how is Trey ascending as a leader? And he's like, hey, he treats everybody the same, and he's a great, he's a young kid, but he's got a lot of leadership traits. And we heard that again from Trent Williams, who spoke to the media this week. And he's like, yeah, this kid's got everything it takes. He's 22 and he's still, he's got veterans like myself and Kittle and Juszczyk and others in the huddle. So he doesn't have to lead just because he's the quarterback. But he's got those leadership traits. And what are those leadership traits? That means that he's smart, he's tough, he works hard, he works to improve, he corrects his mistakes, he's accountable. things like that. And so when I keep saying, and I've said this many times, but I say the Niners have the right player in Trey Lance, or the right person. And now it's about making him and coaching him up and making him the right player. He's got talent. He's a big, strong kid with a great arm. He's smart. He wants to be good, but it's a process, and you got to work to be good. But if you're wed to the process, it's not rocket science. It's not, you're not splitting atoms. It's nothing, that you're not, there's no way you'll get there. You'll get there. You'll get there if you invest the reps. If you're smart and tough and accountable, and I think he is, and you put yourself through the mental and physical reps, and he is, you're going to get there. It may take a year. It may take 2. Alex Smith was a perfect example. He, I think, eventually got there. Now, he didn't win a Super Bowl. He didn't have quite this talent, right? He didn't have quite this ability, but he got the most out of his ability. Wouldn't you say that Alex Smith, guys, with Kansas City was one of the NFL's smarter quarterbacks? Now, he doesn't have the arm talent of Rodgers. He doesn't have the arm talent of Brady. He doesn't have the physical ability of Trey Lance, but he had the, maturity, and he did the reps, and he, over time, he became this highly efficient, really dependable NFL quarterback. And a break here, a break there, maybe he would win a Super Bowl. There are worse quarterbacks than Alex Smith who went on to win Super Bowls. He could have potentially gotten it done. He didn't, but he could have. Sometimes things are situational. But I just think Trey definitely is the right guy. And now it's just a matter of coaching him up, keep doing the reps. But, man, you listen to Trent, listen to Kittle, listen to Bosa, listen to Kyle. They'll say, hey, great kid. Makes some mistakes. He's worlds better than where he's been. His accuracy is way better. His recognition is way better. And he's getting nothing but better. And check back in a year and check back in 2 and watch how much better he is then.
Yeah.
How'd you like to have Mark Hope as your manager? I don't care about your family. I want results. Get to work.
That sounds like the chick from that was complaining about her mailbox. Here, let me just play this video real quick.
That's beautiful. I don't care what type of fam Trey comes from. I need him making plays on Sundays. Convicts and Catholics was a good 30 for 30, but where do you guys stand on the character talent matrix?
It's an interesting question. I mean, I think characters, if you're talking about quarterback, character is one of the top, I don't know, 3 traits. I mean, seriously, you have to have a guy who's going to be able to lead men, that isn't going to BS people.
Matters. Maybe Mrs. Osuna.
Character definitely matters. It definitely matters.
Osuna, did you see that
now,
one?
if Trey had no talent, if he had no discernible talent, just because he, just because he worked hard and came from a good family,
that doesn't get you anywhere.
I work hard. I came from a good family. I'm not quarterbacking in the NFL. Why? Because I have no discernible talent. I can't throw a ball on a rope 40 yards. You know what I mean? And I never probably could. So, that's the thing. You need the talent. But among, almost every guy in the draft has talent. The question then comes down to other traits. I mean, I think we're going to see it with Purdy. I wouldn't get as excited as I got today watching Brock Purdy if I didn't know he was an NFL quarterback. But, man, after watching him in minicamp, watching him in training camp, watching him at Iowa State, and now watching him in the NFL, he's an NFL quarterback.
Ah, crap.
What do you got?
I'm being alerted that I accidentally wrote SF Giant. The thumbnail's right, so I think that people are still finding their way there, but I guess I put SF Giants at Minnesota Vikings.
I did see that. Jaguar 56 donates $2. It says, Krueg, 49er game delayed on the NFL Network. You can see it at 9:00. Yeah, but
at least you could record it. But
I can record it.
Let me just play this.
Record it.
Let me play the 6-second clip. Let me play the 6
thank you, Jaguar.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's nothing.
Well, who's that?
It was Adam Thielen just basically saying, hit me up this offseason. Could be just what you say. But
Purdy is a keeper, Larry.
Well,
no
he's
doubt.
Adam Thielen's from the Minnesota area, and so is Trey.
Yeah. Gladstone Duck
Oh.
says, is he related to Mark Purdy, the writer? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, they're just probably both in the similar
Mark Hope
area.
says, love Dan going scorched earth on me.
Having a little fun on it with you, Mark. I just cracking up. Oh boy.
Oh, thanks,
MF
MF.
donates 99 cents. I think that's for 99
cents.
Is that for 99 problems?
Yeah. Oh,
Just 99 cents. Like, you know what? Here's 99 cents.
here's
I
one.
wonder, we do get a lot of donations that end in 99.
Yeah, I think it's the
Why do you think
default.
that is?
I think somebody explained that. I think that you have to go. I think like when you're typing in numbers, it automatically has 99 at the end, so you have to go in and do an extra step to change it to double zero.
There you go. There you go.
Where's the money
Mark-
come from?
Mark Hope
Like,
says, I love
just-
you, Dan. Love you, Dan.
Oh, you too, Mark. Just having some fun. No worries at all. Just
Oh, this is interesting. Chris Wall says Thielen was a walk-on from that area, so maybe he has a deep appreciation for.
yeah. Thielen's from Minnesota area. Yeah.
But he's a walk-on, so maybe he's got a
Yeah, I think he
extra
went to
special.
I think he went to Mankato State, if I'm not
Did he?
mistaken. I think so.
Mankato State. I've been on that campus.
Well, that's where the Vikings practice. When Ron, my brother, was with the Vikings, that's where they their workout.
What year was that, Danny?
81.
Okay, going way back.
Whatever year Lott and Easley came out.
81.
Yeah, 81.
81.
Yeah.
Was Bud Grant still there?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Bud Grant is such a badass. He's like in his 90s or whatever, and he like went out for the coin toss in some game like a couple years ago. Maybe it was last year, the year before. Shirt sleeves. It was like minus 35 or something. I mean, that guy is just incredible.
I just had my meal. I had some chicken wings and I had some potatoes, and then I topped it off with a drumstick. So I'm pretty full now. So
Belt MF, here's $1.99. Belt thought about bunting in the 10th. Yeah, great. Great. Hey, MF, by the way, I did see that you're going to be headed to Chicago for week 1, and I was going to recommend Gino's East as a great pizza place. And then I looked it up, and it said it was closed. Now, I don't know if it was closed just today or if it's closed, period. But definitely got to hit Navy Pier. You definitely got to do a little waterfront tour. Or you got to do a little, maybe the architecture tour on the boat. Got to do a boat ride tour of Chicago for sure. You know, it'll show you all the different architecture all on the lakefront. You got to hit Wrigley. Absolutely got to hit Wrigley.
Lair, maybe we push
stay on the north side. I would stay on the north side. It's the south side has gotten rough. And it's so rough that the cops don't even show up over there. So if I were you, I would just, hit Chicago, but just don't venture into deep on the south side. And this is coming from somebody whose entire family are South Siders who are all White Sox fans. But the south side is a little rough for sure. Mike Vaz says, here's $5.
Thanks,
No,
Mike
no
Vaz.
$4.99. Just no
making a
comment.
statement.
Just a donation. Just like, hey, here's a 5 spot. Danny, get yourself another drumstick.
yeah, another drumstick. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty full.
Lair,
You know what we need for the show is we need the ice cream man to roll through. Remember the ice cream man?
Oh yeah, with the truck with the bell.
We should. I should put that in as a sound effect and just play it every time Dan's eating ice cream.
MF says, thanks for the recommendation, Larry. Yeah. Oh, Chicago, great town.
Larry,
Town.
I wonder if
Great
there's any
town to
chance
eat
that
in, too.
we. I wonder
I
if
would
there's
let
any
my
chance
kids
we
buy
may be
ice
there
cream
for
from
week
those
1.
guys today, though.
What's that with Danny?
I said I wouldn't let my kids buy ice cream from those guys that drive around those trucks today. They're pretty weird dudes now.
Too many serial killer documentaries on
it's
Netflix.
too many like freak show guys driving those things.
It's just as easy to go to Safeway and get some and put them in the freezer.
Hey, can I go get some ice cream? Oh, yeah, sure, Johnny.
That guy's crazy.
Yeah.
Just remember that, Johnny.
Jeez.
The ice cream man is freaking crazy. 1975. In 1975, that guy was a absolute
Absolutely,
salt of the earth human being.
Yeah, the milkman, the Fuller Brush man.
In 2022, I would say it's 70-30. He's got a record.
Yeah. You remember the Fuller Brush man? Did you have the Fuller Brush man coming around here?
Hey, I can remember. Well, I don't remember the Fuller Brush man, but I do remember when I was a little kid. There were now we went to the grocery store and just bought it at the grocery store, but our neighbors literally used to have milk delivered
in a bottle.
Yeah, delivered to their home.
Yeah.
And when we would be playing out front, and this is in the Sunset District, the milkman would come by. He'd give us a little thing of chocolate milk.
Oh,
yeah.
It was a great little memory of life in the Sunset.
Yeah.
The milkman. Now, if you said to somebody, if you went to a party and you say, "What do you do for a living?" "I'm the milkman." You'd be like, "Yeah, come on. Seriously. I ain't joking. What do you really do?" "I'm the milkman." That was like a profession.
Yeah.
It's no longer a profession anymore, I don't believe.
And do you guys have Schwans? Schwans still come around? They drive around in a truck and deliver food?
There's lots of things I can say to that, but no, I don't. Schwans? No.
Schwan.
Schwan?
Schwans, yeah. SCHWANS. Something like that. But yeah, Schwans was pretty good stuff.
Justin Kerwin says Gino's East of Chicago Pizzeria or Pizza is open. Okay, well, MF, go to Gino's East.
I think they're closed at the weekend the Giants are there, though, because of the fact that the Giants are coming in.
Stop. The other place I would recommend highly is Second City. Go, who doesn't like a comedy club? Do you guys ever hit comedy clubs?
Oh, yeah. Improv.
Yeah, I've been to some comedy. Gino's East, that sounds pretty darn good, though.
Oh, Gino's East. It's on Division on the north side. Really good.
Is it Chicago-style pizza?
Chicago-style pizza.
Oh, yeah. I love Chicago-style.
Classic building.
What's your favorite, Chicago or New York? What style pizza?
They're different.
I mean, everybody, I know people who are like, I ain't eating that quiche, calling Chicago pizza quiche. But the New York pizza's flat and greasy. And the Chicago style pizza, to me, has an incredible crust. So I'll go with the Chicago over the New York.
Yeah.
For me, it's like, do you like Tom Brady or do you like Aaron, or do you like Joe Burrow or do you like Lamar Jackson? There's they're both quarterbacks. They're both great, but they play vastly different games.
Yeah.
And you can enjoy them both.
There you go.
But you like
Wait,
New York?
We've got this one. Giants Niners fan says, yes, Schwans still exist and they have completes.
Oh, God. Oh, wow. By the way, breaking news. My dad he's up in Tahoe for a golf tournament with his buddies. He just sent me this. He said Pasquale sausage.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah, some sausage and peppers.
We had a breakfast dinner tonight.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, except my wife went with some off-brand, whatever the mix is for the waffles.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I don't want to say it too loud because she might, but the waffles were ass.
They were blue.
they were the completes version of waffles.
Oh no.
They had waffles are not supposed to crumble or have an aftertaste.
No.
And I'm like, this is like the diet soda of waffles. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? She's like, well, we do have extra sausage from New York style Italian sausage. I'm like, well, so now we've got the great New York style breakfast sausage.
And it's touching some ass waffle.
Just a waffle that, I wouldn't wish on my biggest enemy. I wouldn't wish any enemy to have that waffle. It fell apart. Justin Kerwin. Larry's sleeping in the garage tonight. So I keep looking over here. It was the
Krueger
worst.
Comes in with a frying pan over the head.
It was the worst waffle I've ever had. It had an aftertaste.
No.
It crumbled. I mean,
Was it
this
like
thing
really healthy or something?
It was bad. Yeah, it must have been healthy. She gave me that look. She knew too. It was like one of those things. Like she's eating it, and she's like looking at me, and I'm like, she's looking over at me, and I'm like, what happened here? And my son starts laughing, and then we're both like,
you both have your shirts off, and
I'm like, well, all right, I love you, honey. You're a beautiful woman. That's all I could really say. That's the best. Anytime you're really upset in a marriage, the best thing is just start issuing compliments.
Yeah,
that always helps.
It'd be funny is if you're
really, you're just irate, right? I'm telling you, Danny's shaking his head. I'm giving this to you. Look at me and look at me good. You start getting mad at your wife, compliments. You're a beautiful, wonderful woman.
You're a handsome woman.
I'm a lucky individual, and you are one of a kind. And you just, did I ever tell you how beautiful you are? I ever tell you you've never looked more beautiful? And then suddenly the ass waffle goes away. It's like, and then you throw enough compliments out there, you can actually double back with a little truth.
Yeah.
By the way, you are beautiful, honey. You're more beautiful than the day I married you. That was the worst waffle in the history of waffles.
You guys should open up.
Then you can bring truth to the table, and then it's like, it's okay. Yeah. It's all right. It's like, you know what? It's kind of like that and cards. Always have a lot of cards nearby so you could just write a quick card. Hey, honey, I wrote you a card. Oh, it's on my birthday. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why you wrote a card.
Oh, what is this? Ingredients for waffles? There's nothing else in here.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go, Larry.
Why is there a coupon for Krusties in my card? Yeah, because get Krusties next time. It's better.
Jay says save his marriage, and he will pledge major donations here. Yeah, because if save your marriage, believe you want that marriage saved because everything you got is going to go.
Half. You're going to lose half.
It's gone.
A few compliments and a couple cards. It's better than half. It's better than losing half.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Doesn't it kind of like I always do enjoy when you get the story like Mariah Carey divorced payment or like it has to pay husband $300 million. It's like, you know what?
Could have bought a card.
Yeah.
Could have bought a card. Justin Kerwin, Larry, you might want to check your next meal your wife makes just to make sure it's, it may be your last man to man. She seems so happy. And then all of a sudden, she poisoned me. Brian Lucina, honey, these waffles taste a bit like Drano. As long as there's a compliment before and after that. Did I ever tell you I really liked your haircut? And it seems like you're in better shape now than ever before. By the way, those waffles were ass. And I wouldn't feed it to the dog if I was mad at the dog. Dusty Gold. Larry needs a Stepford wife. What's a Stepford wife, Danny?
I don't know what a Stepford wife is.
I'm not sure.
Is that like
look that up. Somebody look that up.
I'll look it up.
I'm sure it means something. Mark Gray says, MF, go to the top of the John Hancock building. There's a bar there and the view's incredible. Absolutely. That's a good call, Graves. That's a good call. Eddie says, Larry the Love Doctor. Great.
Oh man.
Mark Graves, cheaper to keep her. Oh, great. I'm sure that put that in the card. That's a Hallmark special right there.
Oh, here, I've got a definition for you.
Okay, what is it?
Stepford wife, a married woman who submits to her husband's will and is preoccupied by domestic concerns and her own personal appearance.
Also, they get this one. Jay says Stepford wife is a mindless babe out to please you.
That was the Urban Dictionary.
I should have known that, man. Seriously, see, I'm so busy getting my Quantrez night on that I don't know my Stepford wives. I'm so busy with Samuel Womack the third tape that I don't know things that other people know. Have you ever felt like you spent too much time? MF says, thanks, guys. Do you ever feel like you spend too much time learning about things and then you don't have time to learn about stuff you should know?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. How about this, gentlemen? Someone suggested that I attend SF Giants therapy.
Yeah, here's the therapy. Sit down, dim the lights. The ownership was cheap. Farhan is just trying to convince you how smart he is, and Gabe is running for Congress in 2028. There you go.
I read it. Speaking of
there's
Farhan,
your Giants. There's your Giants season in a nutshell.
I actually read a pretty good comment somewhere. I don't know where it was, but it was on some Giants page. It said something about Farhan. It said, next time you get a guy that's talking about doing a rebuild, get somebody experienced in doing a rebuild. I mean,
right.
What has Farhan done to rebuild anything?
I mean, he plays a lot of fantasy football, Dan.
He's very glib. He's got a very contagious laugh. Yeah. You hear him laugh a few times and it makes you laugh. He's a very nice man, too. He's a very nice man.
Very nice man. Very nice man. And I wish he was an MFer. I'm kind of like with Mark Hope. Like Mark Hope says, I don't care how nice of a man he is. Get me some results. Yeah. Let me see.
MF says Greg Cosell's laugh is better.
Cosell does have a good laugh.
Cosell does have a great laugh. He does. I'm eager to see what Cosell would say about this game, by the way. I get nothing bad really to say about Farhan as a guy. I think Farhan's really smart as far as the Giants are concerned. I just think that he's got this fascination with, and we see it in fantasy. He's like a fantasy football guy who makes like 10 times as many moves as everybody else in the league. And sometimes they're good and sometimes they're not, but they're making tons of moves. And it's weird. It's like Farhan is both just absolutely addicted to these nothing moves and deathly afraid of making a move of substance. He's so freaking cautious when it comes to big decisions. But hey, you want to move the 38th guy on the 40 man? Heck yeah, he's game. He'll do it before noon. He likes it. Like if you walked into his office and say, you know what? There's a guy I think we ought to DFA today, and there's a guy that was DFA'd today that I think we ought to jump on. Most GMs would look at you and say, kid, go back to your cubicle. Farhan would look at you and be like, hey, what do you think? Give me your idea. Who do you like? Throw it my way. Because he likes that kind of stuff. He loves the incremental improvement. But unfortunately, it's a step here, it's a step there, it's a step forward here, it's 2 steps back there. And then you look around and you're like, wait a second, we're still in a building that has no walls. We're still in a building that has no roof. We have no windows. We have no flooring. We don't have our basic things. But we're debating endlessly about,
But the crown molding is.
Do we want this kind of crown molding? Do we want this? Do you want 6-inch baseboards or do you want 8-inch baseboards? Put up a freaking wall. I need a roof.
Wait, I love Rothberg tonight. He's like, he's okay with taking some hits. Larry, I told all my friends and family that you stated I was stubborn. Collectively, they all agreed with you. Now and then. Then he goes on to say, Larry, thanks to you, I'm now referred to as Mr. Stubborn, Mr. Giant Stubborn.
Hey, show everybody Farhan, picture of Farhan, Rye.
Okay, are you going to do Kermit?
No. Jaguar 56 donates $2. Krug, when she was 45, I would say she's 35. Oh, look at you. Jaguar. That's worth a clap right there. He looks at his wife, says, you know what, honey? You look 35.
Oh, my God.
There you go.
Damn, that's great. Give me 1 sec.
Just compliments. Just straight out compliments.
There you go. Yep.
Right, Danny?
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
You think Danny's wife likes all these long streams? You can't walk in the living room when I'm on. You can't do this when I'm on. No phone calls when I'm on. If anybody calls for me, you make up an excuse when I'm on. Do you think she likes this live stream? She hates it, but she loves Danny. And Danny compliments her and says, you know what? The lumpia was fresh.
Yes.
And that was delightful. Oh, yes. There you go. There's the Giants' past and future GM. Look at this. This might be at the inauguration of Dan as the new general manager.
Yeah, I should
out with
take
the old
over.
regime and in with the new regime.
Man, that's one thing I'd do right there. I'd bring back number 40.
Now, you know what? If there were comments right here, it'd be like, I wonder where that right hand has been. That's what Farhan's thinking. Who is this guy? And I wish he wouldn't touch me. Couldn't he just have stood next to me like everybody else? He had to put his hand on my shoulder. I don't know where that hand's been.
He is kind of doing a move like it looks like he's trying.
I saw that guy handling completes earlier. Now I know I've got to throw away this Nike windbreaker forever.
His body language does look like he's trying to slither away. Like he's like real small and he feels like he can slither away if this goes badly.
Oh man, yeah, that's in Scottsdale. His first year as GM.
Anonymous has a question. Is that Danny's wife?
Oh, come on.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't
right.
That ain't.
We don't like me. Hey, you know what? I'm the only mean-spirited person in this chat. All right, I got that role. Giant Niner fan. Now we know who's been giving Farhan all the bad advice. Wait a second. There's audio. Go get Padlo. Go get Padlo. Oh, that's where the Padlo idea came from.
Yeah, what if when we got to go visit Danny in Arizona, we went into his room and there was just like an altar, like some sort of like satanic altar that with like all these pictures of Farhan and all the different Giants players. And turns out he's been like, worshiping at night and trying to put those things into his head.
You know those pictures where you get like a second and a half of movement right before the picture?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah.
Like if we back this thing up a second and a half, Danny's like, you know what? You're a genius. And I'm so thrilled that you got this job. Can we take a picture? Oh, sure. Yeah. What the hell? Why not? You are so much smarter than Bobby Evans. I can't believe that we didn't hire you 3 years ago. Can we take this picture?
Well,
is that what do you remember what phrase was said right before that picture? Damn, I'm glad you're here.
No, I think he said,
hey, what's up, buddy?
He said,
said something.
He said, I want to
trade you.
Yeah, I want to look like I know what I'm talking about here. So let me get a picture with you, he said to me.
Now Anonymous feels bad for saying that Farhan's your wife. He said,
I'll show you my wife. I sure put
just
my wife
kidding,
up there,
Danny.
right?
Love you lots. Love you lots.
My wife's right here. We're at a Giants game. This was just a couple years ago.
Right before you put the ring on it.
That looks a lot like Farhan.
No, this is me and the missus coming up. Here we are. She'll probably not like.
Go get scalp massages together.
Did you get it right?
Oh! Sorry,
yeah,
I didn't know there was another one.
Our producer is.
I'm botching it.
Do you guys, Danny? You ever taken a game with the HOA?
No, never will.
Hey, ladies, let's go. Let's stop talking about the hole in the roof, and we'll talk about the hole on the left side of the infield.
Yeah, I don't belong in this 55 association. You'll see when you see my wife. She's like,
she's not 55.
No.
You smuggled her into the 55 and over?
Yeah, it was because I'm over 55. She's allowed in.
Oh, so she's got to hang with the geezers because you're, qualify?
Because I qualify, yeah.
That's probably you probably had to make several cards and several compliments just to get her in there.
Yeah. So
look at haha. My HOA fees include water. Great. Does it include garbage? I need to know. Please, I need to know.
Some do. Mine doesn't. But geez.
Oh man.
Sorry, Dan. This is it'll be up in a sec.
Okay, so this is me and the missus at Oracle, probably 2 years ago, I think, when we were, or maybe it was last year, 21.
Anonymous. Haha, I wish my HOA included water. How about security? Is there a security system? Danny? Are there people walking around, guns drawn?
No. It's pretty laid back.
Is there an electric fence? That keeps
Electric fence.
that keeps undesirables and deplorables out.
Yeah. What are you putting up, Rye? You're
It's just an issue with what's it called? The formatting. You got to give me 1 sec.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
My wife is a cardboard cutout in 2020. You know what was great about the 2020 season? The best thing I loved about the 2020 season was Alex Dickerson in left field fetching foul balls and firing them at full, hard as he could at the cutouts. That was just hilarious. I mean,
there was a cutout of me. I had a cutout there.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had a cutout.
What would you have a cutout?
Because they made one of me and Tommy and Brooks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we had, and then they were a couple of them were in the studio.
I would have liked to have seen that.
Have your own cutout. People paid for them, right?
I wasn't going to buy one. I was a season ticket holder. I was like, I don't need a cutout.
You don't want a cutout?
No, I mean, if you can't put my butt in the seat, I don't want a piece of cardboard.
Well, but I mean, it was all with the. It cost money too, right?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
They already had enough for your cash.
Yeah, I don't need to pay money to have to pretend like I'm.
Let me ask you this. Get truth be told here. If you could put a cardboard cutout in your seat the rest of the year and get the money back for the tickets, would you do it?
Absolutely. No hesitation.
Maybe call and say, hey guys, one question about the cardboard cutouts. And yes, Mr. Coccimilgio, can I substitute mine and get my cash back? Because I know you guys don't want empty seats, but I'd really love that cash.
Anonymous is asking if I'm a season ticket holder. I am.
Dan is a season ticket holder.
I is.
And he's a buddy, and he's a phenomenal retirement. Just the freaking commercial.
I'm a season ticket holder. I will not be a future season ticket holder in 2023, though.
That means you can't really have an opinion next year.
Right.
Next year, you're going to be like, well,
I'll have my opinion.
As a former season ticket holder, it won't really have the same.
Well, they want me to commit right now. How do I know what they're committed to?
Okay, Dan, I've got it finally ready. Are you ready?
Uh-oh, is it the right one?
You're going to be willing to share your beautiful wife to the internet like this.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Uh-oh. Hopefully. Hey, look at what you did. Oh, man, that's what you were messing with.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
That ain't right.
Oh, man, that's low. That's what
she does look an awful lot like Farhan.
Oh, come on. Come on. Now she's going to even look really, really gorgeous. She is gorgeous, but she's going to look even better when you take that mug off.
Okay, I'll put the actual one up.
Let's put the unaltered version up of us here. There we are. That's pretty funny, though. Oh, gosh. I was like, what is he doing?
There you go.
There you go. Look at that. That's love. There's a lot of compliments there.
Yeah. Beautiful smile.
I love the lumpia. It's juicy.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. It's very juicy. Thank you.
Yeah. Great lumpia. Oh, everything's great. She's a fantastic cook.
Look at this. There's always people who look really closely at the pictures. Is Dan wearing knee pads?
I am wearing knee braces. Do you have fake
knees? Do you have artificial knees?
No, I don't yet, but I had the right knee just got surgery on last year, meniscus. The left
really zone in on those knees.
The left was coming off of meniscus.
Oh, that's an athletic knee.
Let me see those shoes of mine. I bet you they're orange and black.
Oh, yeah. Look at you.
Yeah, look at that.
Do you often wear trying to match the Giants colors?
When I go to a game, I wear my orange.
Really? You wear matching shoes?
I've
never worn matching shoes in my life.
I got different orange and black shoes. I got a really cool set.
You're really that color coordinated? You go with matching shoes?
I'm going to go show you some really cool shoes. I've never worn them, and I've had them because
okay, this should be good.
We might have to auction these.
Are they Skechers? Are they Skechers?
No, they're.
Are they like old man shoes?
I'll bring them.
Are they Jordans?
They were one size too big for me, so I've never worn them. Hold on,
you bought them
right here. Yeah,
but Dan thought he would grow into them. In his defense.
Yeah, I mean, your feet stop growing. It's not like nose cartilage. Danny, that's unbelievable. Jay says, Dan, you cradle robber.
Oh God,
That's bad.
You know what's funny is now that like
Multiple cradle robbers.
multiple. I can't tell if this is Len or now is this Len or has someone created a fake Krueg show thingy like Spank Stand? I guess that sounds like Len. Well, that sounds like Len.
Oh my God.
Too good.
Anonymous. I have custom Nikes that say Hum Baby on the back. Always wear them to Giants games. No, you don't. Hum Baby. Hum Baby. Do you know who the Hum Baby was? Roger Craig, the original Hum Baby.
All right, look at these. They even got the green tag on them here.
Dang. Is that a poker chip?
Verified authentic.
Whoa.
What are you saving them for? For your feet to get bigger? What are you
What size are they?
Why don't you just have a lot of salt and then put them on?
They're 11s. I wear a 10 and a half. I needed a 10 and a half. I thought they were going to run.
Wait a second. You can't wear them because they're a half size too big.
Well, they run a little big.
Put on another pair of socks and call it a day.
Or get some orthotics, maybe.
Danny's probably got multiple orthotics sitting around.
What kind of brand? I mean, these are Nike.
Those are sick.
Yeah, look at those.
Look at this.
Air
shine to them.
Say Air 7C.
Yeah, that's what they are. Air 7. Air.
What'd you pay for those bad boys?
Like 140 or something.
You pay all up front, or you put them on layaway?
Right up front, it was some thing that.
Where'd you get that kind of loot?
Oh, Dan, I found a 10 and a half still in stock of the same shoe.
Maybe you could exchange it.
Air 7C. How much do they run?
I'm not sure if this is the exact same
What's
one.
the width? Is it A, B, double B, triple E? What's the width of the shoe? Standard width?
Standard.
Let's look at the size chart.
These are nice shoes.
I mean, those things are bright, though. That's a little too bright for you, Danny.
Those aren't the same ones, though.
Wait a second. The white ones look good.
Yeah, with the little gold accent.
Like, I could do that. I could go white.
What's the loudest shoe, as they would say, that you've ever worn?
Oh, I have some Jordans that are red and black, and they're so bright that like I put them on. I was like in a weird mood when I tried them on, and so I went with it. Even though I'm like, God, this is easily the brightest shoe I've ever bought in my life, and I put them on like 10 times, and 10 times. Before I walk out of the house, I say I can't wear these. I can't wear them.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to see them? Hold on a second. I'll get them. Hold on.
Stock X. That's right. That's where I got them. Stock X.
Dan, these are the loudest shoes I've ever worn. These are
these off.
These were the LeBron 4s All-Star edition. I think this was maybe from 2006, and I remember I got these for AAU season, and it felt like the swaggiest kid around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those look like Niner shoes almost too.
Yeah.
With the red. Yeah. I had in Little League, my 12-year-old year, the All-Stars, we wore red jerseys, Concord American, red. And I bought these cool Adidas red shoes, but they weren't cleats. I should have brought cleats. They were tennis shoes. And I was really ticked because I didn't have as good of traction in the infield, you know?
Oh, yeah.
With the tennis shoes. And I was just like, I was going for the cool look and everything. I should have just stayed with the black cleats.
Yeah, I had that too in baseball. I tried the Jeter, the Jordan brand cleats because I just thought that was so sick, but they were not very good.
Those are Oriole Nike shoes, huh? Orioles, Giants, they could pass either way, right?
Yeah, either way.
I've only put them on once, and so they felt way too big for me. I normally wear a 10 or 10
Mr. Patel says, "Oh wow," with good grammar too. Even the post-game show is preseason game 2 level. Shoes? ? Yeah, I mean, once we get to about the 2-hour mark of a preseason game, there's not much more to be said. It's speculation.
Oh, here comes Larry's shoes, man. Are these orange? I thought I saw a little orange tip. What did I see?
M. Patel. Oh, wow. Even the post-game show is preseason game 2 level. Well, come on.
Yeah, it's hour 2. Larry, I got to show you these real quick. These were the loudest shoes. Yes. I wore those in like 4th grade. The LeBron 4 All-Star Game edition. I thought that they were so sick.
Oh my God. Okay. Here we go. This is the shoe that I've put on, and I put them on. They're cool. I liked them in the store. I bought them. I put them on a bunch, and every single time I can't walk out the door wearing them because I look down at my feet and I'm like, God, you look like a circus clown.
I told you I saw orange.
No, they're not orange.
Those are red.
Yes,
red?
they're red.
No, those are sick, but those are definitely like,
they're Jordans.
you know what, Larry? You should wear those like if
They're pretty sweet, actually.
If you
looks
wore
like
those
something-
with some jeans to like a Niner thing with like a cool shirt, like wore those as like almost like dress shoes to like a Niner thing, that would be pretty sick. And you'd get a lot
They
of
think
respect.
like, oh no, it's Larry Pagan, Angel's brother.
I like them. It's like I like them on other people. It's like I look at that and I'm like, God, I'm not 14. I can't wear that.
I feel it. I feel
Also,
the
it's like-
same way.
If everybody walks, the first thing they do is look down at your feet. That's a little strange.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay, thanks, Jaguar. We're going to give you a little Pasquale here. You can't stand
Yeah.
anymore. Thanks for
Should
the
we just
$2.
run? Should we just?
grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night.
That's right.
Anonymous says, hi, Larry. I have those Nikes too. Somebody said, Mark Hope said 11 lows. Is that I don't know what that means.
Jordan 11 lows, maybe. Or
Oh, I don't know. Maybe that's.
you're getting a lot of comments. Those are pimping. I have those too. I'm older than you, and I wear them.
Larry's getting chewed out right now about his waffle comments.
Yeah, that's what took him a while. He was back there looking. He was getting spanked.
Yeah, exactly.
Leans over in the closet to pick up his shoes, and he gets a big kick in the ass.
Brian Lucina, OP shorts were a must-have. Oh my goodness.
OP shorts, Ocean Pacific. Yeah, I used to wear those.
Anonymous says, hey, Larry, I'm older than you and I wear them. All right. Well,
But you are anonymous,
say?
so you're not going to get called out.
yeah.
Yeah, anonymous. I think we should have anonymous call in. And imagine he's like anonymous calls in. He's like the New Orleans Saints fan that wears the bag over his head.
Sick call commando says, Larry, is it true what they say about men with narrow arches? What's a narrow arch?
I'm not quite sure.
It's funny because my brother wears like quadruple E. I mean, they're just like, it's like, his foot's as wide as it is long.
He's got like
My dad used to have like triple A, but he wore size 15 shoes.
Sheesh.
15. And he was born in 1937. Think about that.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, seriously. My dad used to buy these Allen Edmonds dress shoes. I'm like, Dad, those things are pimping. They look great.
Dang.
It's like, you know how much they cost in size 15? You have to order them special. So I wear 13 and a half. My brother wears like 14.
Oh, Jesus. So you all have giant feet.
Well, my 13-year-old has like 12s.
Wow.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. They look like skis.
Yeah.
Dusty Gold, Larry, bring out your bling. I don't have any bling. Oh, man. Anyway, well, overall, let's see. Brian says, Larry, I'd like to discuss producing a KSN, Krueger Shopping Network show for you.
Oh, you know what? I got something I got to throw on.
MF says, Krug Show Fantasy League coming to life. Yes, MF. When Rye gets back, we'll talk a little bit about the Fantasy League because we are definitely doing the fantasy draft on the 28th. And I don't think it's going to be in person. I think it's going to have to be online, but we are going to give the people that we have promised a spot are getting a spot. So,
hey, MF, give me a thumbs up in the chat, or a yay or nay. Did my nephew send you an email regarding the Survivor League?
You're asking it somebody in a chat, Dan.
Yeah, he's going to respond.
I
He's
know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, so he listens and then he responds.
Look at that. Look at that. A Rye swagged out Rye tonight with some New York style Italian sausage.
Oh man, I need one of those. I'll get one next week, huh?
Yeah, you'll get one. You'll get one at the golf tournament.
I was gonna wear it.
I can ask them to get you one. Actually, they gave me two. And then I gave one to Rye.
I was meant to wear this at the beginning.
Okay. So,
Oops.
he's been checking.
So, hey, MF asked this one. Krug Show Fantasy League coming to life, Rye?
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to have the draft on the 28th.
Buster, shut up.
Oh, look at Dan. The way he turns on Buster. The anger that he shows.
Oh, man. Out of
I
control.
feel sorry for Buster. Buster's like, I could have been playing. I could have been on a ranch. I could have been at a farm somewhere and having fun. Instead, I've got this
55-year-old community.
This ice cream addicted 55-year-old Giants nut keeping me pasted next to Faith all day.
Oh, you want to see some property? When I was in Idaho, I'll send you a video. Buster had the time of his life in Idaho.
Buster's like, when are we going back there?
I know. He really, yeah. He this is kind of tough for him here. Yeah.
Anyway, but if you're just tuning in now, we did talk a lot off the start about the Niners. Just to kind of wrap it up for those of you who may be slow to the chat or didn't get into the chat, I just thought overwhelmingly the 49ers look, as far as today's game, the number one thing was you don't want to get hurt. And I don't remember seeing anybody get hurt. So that's a major positive. The other major positive is that, Brock Purdy looks like an NFL quarterback, and Nate Sudfeld didn't look a whole lot worse than him. They got a bunch of backs. Jordan Mason ran the hell out of the ball tonight. Some of the young O-linemen, Jason Poe, I thought looked particularly good tonight. And then, this has been a tremendous rookie class. Danny Gray, Spencer Burford, Jason Poe, Brock Purdy, Ty Davis-Price, Jordan Mason, Tay Martin. That's Nick Zakelj. These are just the rookies on offense. I mean, think about that for a second. And then on defense, you got Drake Jackson. We haven't seen Kalia Davis. Saguna Luby kind of fired in this game for the first time. You got Marcelino McCrary Ball, Tariq Castro Fields, Taylor Hawkins, Quantrez Knight, Sammy Womack. It's a really, really, really good 49er rookie class. And now, what does that mean? It means that you could sit 25 of your best players. You could argue the Niners sat, basically the top side of their entire roster didn't play. And they won that game on the road. And defensively, they shut down the Vikings. And offensively, both of their quarterbacks completed 75% of their passes. So I would say, and Jordan Mason ran for 6 yards a pop. So I would say it's an overwhelming positive, trip to Minnesota for the 49ers. They got exactly what they wanted to get out of it. They got 2 good days of practice. They sat their veterans. They found out about their quarterback room. They watched some of their young players, go through an entire game. Kinlaw looks like a man possessed. I think it was a pretty damn good effort. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. Couldn't have gone any better. Obviously you can't take too much, you don't put everything in the preseason game, but as much as you're going to put in a preseason game in the week of practice, you got everything you wanted. So it's really, the arrow is just straight up for this team.
One other one here that I wanted to get to is Justin Kerwin, who says, Jaguar 56 says, $2 donation. He says, Krueg, good night, gentlemen. Stay blessed. Good night, Jaguar. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good one. Thanks for checking out the chat once again.
Yeah, Jaguar.
Jaguar's the man. But Justin Kerwin says, who's your fantasy sleeper this year? I'm gonna give you 3 guys that I really like. Zach Ertz in Arizona, especially since DeAndre Hopkins is out. Romeo Dobbs, the rookie receiver for Green Bay. I think he's going to be terrific. And if I had to go with a third guy, I guess I would probably go with maybe Damian Pierce, the running back from Florida, who's with the Texans. He looked really, really good the other night.
Yeah. I mean, and, what do you think of
MF says
Stevens?
Allen Robinson. I think I don't know if I call Allen Robinson a sleeper. I think he's probably going to go in the top 3 rounds.
Yeah. No. he's gonna be
Sleepers
a
are like late round guys.
Yeah.
I would say Kyler Murray might be a sleeper. I just really think that he's going to answer the bell after all the criticism that he's faced this offseason. He's going to fire. I really do. And I like Hurts. I like Hurts quite a bit. So those are the ones that jump out to me. I'll have more in the days ahead, but those are the ones that stand out to me.
Absolutely.
And as far as the Giants go, I mean, what are you going to say, right? I mean, the Giants, when you cannot score 4 or 5 runs, you can't get on a winning streak. And that's the Giants in a nutshell. Do the Giants, could they get on a winning streak? They could have if they had added an offensive player or two and they started to score 5 or 6 runs a game. But, they're so pitching oriented, and that's a good thing. You need pitching. But like in the second half, when you need to win 17-20 to kind of, commandeer a playoff spot, you need offense. I mean, go back and look at Sabian's pickups and look at those Giants teams that did take off down the stretch. The one that I think of all the time, 2002, picked up Kenny Lofton. They were scoring 3-4 runs a game. They started scoring 5-6 runs a game. They went like 21-10 down the stretch, carried that momentum, rode it all the way to Game 7 of the World Series. Came up short, but offense is what makes baseball teams streak in the second half of the year. You're not going, especially as the season progresses, you're not going to shut everybody out. You're just not. It's unrealistic. But if you get a bunch of bats and they're all swinging it, everybody's feeling good, and it feels like there's, everybody's pulling on the same end of the rope, then all of a sudden you start scoring easy runs, but get easy wins. And then you look up and you're like, hey, wow, we've won 14 of 16. Now we're in it. Now we're in the driver's seat. They just didn't do it. So they needed 2 things at the deadline, another bat or 2 and another reliever or 2. And they got 1 bat. They didn't get that second bat, and they didn't get any relievers. So now their pen is two guys short, and their lineups are easily a guy short or 2, and they're just going to fall. They're going to fall short of. I mean, to me, it's a very disappointing year because you won 107 last year, and your general manager talked a huge game and did not deliver. So, and then your ownership let the team down. Let the team down. Man, there's no doubt about it. I would, if I was a season ticket holder, there's no way I would give them my money early. Yeah. Show me. Guess what? It's a big stadium. And I might not be able to sit in my seat, but I think there'll be a seat in March. I'll just take my chances. I'll wait to see if you guys do anything. If you Jimmy Jack around and do nothing again,
because you don't want to get
I'll go to 13 or 14 games. And you can, I'll save my season tickets. I'll spend that money somewhere else.
Absolutely.
That would be my view. If I was a season ticket holder, great respect for the Giant organization, but you took your profits last year. I'm taking my profits next year. And if you show me you got something, I'll buy more tickets.
Yeah. I mean, I think that sums it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're having a nice monsoon thunderstorm right now.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, you get hit, Graves?
Let's see it.
Can we see it? I can show it. Let's see. Is Graves getting hit over there in Goodyear? Let me see.
I want to see what a good old-fashioned Arizona monsoon looks like. Did I ever tell you, Danny, I was at spring training in the 90s or maybe early 2000s with my brother. We're playing at the Legends at Arrowhead in North Phoenix, Arnold Palmer's course. Really nice little course. And it's 85 freaking degrees. It's pretty hot. It's middle of the day. All of a sudden, get up on like the 16th hole, clouds start forming, starts getting dark, starts getting really dark. My brother gets on one of those 2-level greens, and the sky's opened, and he was like literally like 150 yards away from the golf cart. He was drenched in water.
Can you hear the thunder out here and the wind? Rain?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Ooh, street.
I'm not really seeing any. Oh, yeah. There we go. Oh, yeah. But what's the temperature?
Feels warm. It's like, I don't know. It feels like about 80 something. Probably about 85.
Weird.
Yeah.
See, we're not used to that in California. If it's raining, it's like 50.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
There's no 85 degree rain in NorCal.
No.
Yeah, it's
Nick J's like, rain? What's
there's
rain?
some lightning. Yeah. It's not too bad. It comes usually about this time at night and cools everything off. But
It's funny. Eddie says, were either of you guys at the Niner Colts game last year? Oh, yeah. So I was there, and I think they called it a what did they call that? A seismic river? They called the weather pattern for Niners Colts last year a seismic river.
What the heck?
I drove from Levi Stadium to Walnut Creek. I would say my car hydroplaned 11 or 12 times
Jesus.
in the drive home. Now, when I say hydroplaned, I just mean like, when you can feel your wheels disengaging from the road.
Oh,
Not necessarily full on hydroplaning, like spinning in circles or sliding from lane to lane. Atmospheric river. River. There you go.
let me show you where Buster and Faith used to go. Hey,
Okay.
Ray, I just sent you a video. This was my property I just sold a few months ago. I built a cabin up in Idaho, brand new. And this is what the dogs loved, man. They used to just frolic, and they loved the snow. But I didn't care for the snow too long.
I'm still waiting for it to come through, so maybe we'll tease it for that. Maybe we'll go out on that video or something.
Oh, didn't come through?
Not yet.
Let me see. I sent it
Let's
to
do
you.
this. Let's pay the bills.
I sent it to your email or your.
We'll pay the bills.
alone.
We'll pay the bills. We'll come back and we'll finish up on the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger here for Telmetrics. Thanks to Casey Bateman and the good people at Telmetrics. If you're an occupational therapist, if you're an orthopedic surgeon, a chiropractor, a physical therapist of any kind, Telmetrics is designed for you to use in your practice and will greatly benefit your patients. Telmetrics uses computer vision and artificial intelligence and provides a platform for outpatient rehab therapy services, both in the clinical and the telehealth environments. So using Telmetrics can improve your patient's experience and much more. So for all your sports injury needs, or if you're a physical rehabilitation specialist of any kind, make sure you use telmetrics.co, Telmetrix.co. And thanks to Casey Bateman and all the good people at Telmetrics for being a proud sponsor of the Krueg. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Dan Coccimilgio. Dan is a buddy, and he is a phenomenal retirement planning specialist. And you can contact him today at securemoney.com or at his number 925-628-9966. There's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now, and you want to make sure that your money is secure. That is the key. Danny's got 25 years of experience, born and raised right here in the Bay Area, and he can help you get an immediate 10% premium bonus on your principal retirement account. So give him a call, 925-628-9966. He'll make an appointment with you, and you can sit down. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of a deal. He'll consult with you and come up with a strategy to get you going to where you want to be. Once again, 925-628-9966, securemoney.com on the web. And thanks. And thanks to Tony Cassera and the good people at Cassera's Italian Menswear. They are housing the Krueg Show t-shirts, and they're a proud sponsor of the show as well. The Krueg Show t-shirt, the Krueg Show podcast t-shirt is available there at their store in Dublin. Their address is 7372 San Ramon Road in Dublin, California. And go see Tony Cassera and get yourself a Krueg Show t-shirt and support the show. And special thanks to our sponsor, New York Style Italian Sausage. That's right, NewYorkStyleSausage.com is their website. Phenomenal product, whether it's the breakfast sausage, the Italian mild, the Italian spicy, the chorizo. You cannot go wrong with New York Style Italian Sausage. Once again, NewYorkStyleSausage.com. Often imitated, never equaled.
We grew up with a Sunday dinner. That means no matter how busy you were, no matter where the hell you were, you came to dinner on a Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday dinner without sausage, it's like a church without God. You know, how can you go to church if you don't believe in God? You know, and along with the sausage also became the discussions. That was discussion night. You know, it wasn't a typical family that you sit there and you're quiet, you know, and you don't talk with a mouthful. Oh no, man. Italians talk when they're eating. Italians even talk when they're sleeping. And definitely we talk with our hands. So if we can't express it through our mouth, through our lips, we express it with our hands. So, and that's what sausage is, really. It's an expression, you know, that life is good.
So New York Style Sausage was started over 70 years ago. We are the largest producer of fresh Italian sausage on the West Coast.
What makes our sausage in New York style is really the recipe came from back east, from New York, you know, from Connecticut.
If you look at all of our labels, there's maximum 4 or 5 ingredients, which we're really proud of.
There's no preservatives, no MSG, fresh in, fresh out.
The pork comes in fresh, goes out fresh. There's never any freezing throughout the process. We've always used fine quality cuts. We're never gonna deter from that. It's one of the reasons why our sausage is so good. I guarantee you put our sausage up against anybody else's from a flavor standpoint, no one will beat it, hands down.
Hey, do yourself a favor and do me a favor. Go buy a package of the New York Style Italian sausage. Guaranteed you will love it, guaranteed.
All right, welcome back to the Krueg Show. Larry Krueger, Ryan Smith, Dan Coccimilgio. Did Danny just put a tie on? Just put a tie on, Dan?
What the hell?
What the hell? You got the hat on, but you got a tie on?
Yeah, I'm Paul Bear Bryant.
You going to an HOA meeting? You got a little HOA shindig the lady's throwing you?
What did Paul Bear wear? This is my wife, so this doesn't look probably pretty good. But
A woman, a power suit.
yeah, look at this. I haven't put a suit on in years, man.
Isn't that what Babe Ruth's wife wore? That hat?
Man, this thing is putting a coat on, man. It's like I got out of the corporate world. I don't have to wear this.
Where are you going?
Anymore.
You going to dinner somewhere?
No, just having some fun, just seeing what it looked like. See if I can see my Alabama hat.
Some people use mirrors. Some people use live streams.
Yeah. This thing. Yeah. Hey, here we go. Yeah, this is what the dogs used to have. Check this space out.
You kind of fighting it out there?
How they play. You got it turned. Maybe you flip it. Maybe I don't know. Does it flip?
Oh, that's so cute. Oh my gosh.
I had 15 acres there. That's one house.
That's a whole ski slope.
Yeah, that's a cabin up there.
Bunny slope?
That was the cabin I built.
Come on.
That's my cabin there.
Wow, that's awesome.
That next door neighbor is kind of close. Or is that your garage?
That was my property. Oh, that's the garage, yeah.
Oh.
That's the garage. But
now, where's that?
that was up in north central Idaho. Yeah, it was completely
Near Gonzaga?
it wasn't too far, 3 hours drive to Spokane.
There you go.
Not far from Pullman, 2 hours from Clay Thompson country. Yeah.
The Palouse. Been up there too.
Yeah.
There's some rugged weather up there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us. If you're just tuning in, Giants lose 4-3 to the Rockies in Denver. Niners win at 17-7 over the Vikings in Minneapolis. Niners 2-0 on the early going, and there's one more preseason game, and it's a quick turnaround. I think they play Thursday night in Houston against the Texans, and then there's like almost a 3-week break. I thought it was 17 days or something like that, maybe less.
Yeah, it's
like 15 days, 16 days, 2-3 weeks almost. They'll be off until week one. They travel to Soldier
the next game
Field.
is what? Next Thursday, the 26th?
Yep, Thursday. This Thursday.
The 20. That would be the 25th. So then they got 5 days after that for the magical cutoff for the roster cuts, right? Down to 53.
Yep, and then it's going to be really interesting. The Niners bluffing with Garoppolo, and they're going to cut him, or are they not bluffing and he's going to be on the roster? I got to think they're bluffing.
Yeah, that would be a shock. I mean, that would just be because then you cut yourself really short in the middle of the season if you need to sign somebody, and you've got to pay Garoppolo for the full year. What do you do if you have an injury situation and you need to, sign a free agent? Let's say, let's just say something crazy. You want Odell Beckham because
there's always different
healthy.
ways you can manipulate the cap. It's just about restructuring and who do you want to restructure and do they have somebody they can restructure? So there are ways around it, but
you're just so much freer without it.
Yeah, I mean, I got to think that I'd rather have the $24 million, but who knows? I'll say this. I watched Seattle this weekend, and their quarterbacks looked bad.
Yeah, you don't want them going to Seattle.
I don't believe the Browns. I don't believe the Browns, Andrew Berry, when he says, you know what? It's like it's almost like their media people come out and they're like, the Browns will not be trading for Jimmy Garoppolo. It's like, okay, obviously you were fed that message. But then when Andrew Berry is asked a direct question, will you give Jacoby Brissett a vote of confidence that he's going to be your starter until Watson comes back, and he won't do it? So to me, that tells me the Browns is where I think the 49ers really, even though they won't admit it, they don't want Jimmy with the Rams or the Seahawks. They don't.
Definitely not.
You don't want your quarterback in your division twice a year. Even if you think Trey's, and all this talk about, oh, well, they don't like him. Otherwise, it's not about liking the quarterback. It's about rookie quarterback versus $25 million quarterback. And if you look at the roster that you built, and I'm sure they've done this exercise, what does the team look like if we have Jimmy G and his $25 million contract? What does that team look like? Not just this year, but next year and the year after, if you went with a rookie quarterback. And I'm sure they're looking at it going, well, wait a second. If we go with a rookie quarterback, we can have Bosa and we can have Ayuk and we can have, Kittle. And if we go with a veteran quarterback making $25 million, we can't have Ayuk. And we got to pick between Bosa and Trent Williams. And we got to, so I think that's really where that's the debate is. And that's why they went down the Trey Lance road. It was as much about the cap as it is about Jimmy, his health, or the way he played.
Completely.
And I just think that John Lynch and his scouts are looking around going, we've spent a lot of time on the road scouting and building up the talent base that we think is Super Bowl caliber. And if we have a $25 million quarterback, you know what? We're going to have to kiss off 4 or 5 of those guys. So let's get a rookie quarterback and a rookie deal. And
check these videos out. Right. Check this video out on Twitter. We got a fight, an NFL fan fight. Those are always fun to watch. And then did the Padres end up losing? Because I just saw a tweet that said, "Welcome to Padres baseball." And let me see if they lost to the Nats here, because
I think they won.
it was tied 1-1 in the 7th. Let me look here.
Yeah, the
Score.
Padres won 2-1.
Oh, okay. So Giants are now what, 6.5? Probably 6.5 out. Yeah, it's like whatever.
The Giants are 6.5 out, but the Brewers are between them and the Padres.
Yeah, 6.5.
You know what?
They
Let's
need two teams to take a dive. And that's
why don't
not
we
happening.
why don't we go out on this one, since our that we probably have some new people in the chat tonight, and they have to see it.
Get fired up here. Let's go! Who wants to be up? Yeah! Want to be on the Larry Krueger show? Yeah! All right! Let's go, Giants! All right, we're out here in the future with the Larry Krueger show. Larry Krueger! Yeah, we're gonna be on YouTube right now tonight. All right. Okay. When I say Larry, you say Krueger. Larry! Krueger! Larry! Krueger! Larry! Krueger!
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful, you gon' get exactly what you asked for. Here for whatever you bring me, getting handled. I answer to no